episode, I have a triple threat. This guy, he's brokered successful sponsorship deals, monetizing multiple podcasts. He runs live shows all over social media. Like, he gets up at 4:30 every day just to stay ahead of you and me because he kicks ass, and that's what he does. He's the biggest Amazon influencer I know, and he's making money hand over fist. And hopefully he's going to teach us a little something by the end of this. This guy is my hero. He's my hero, and he loves fishing. Everybody, Billy Thorpe is here. She's in the basement today after this.
Let's go. Turn up the volume. From the basement of the Empire State, this is the Basement Surge.
3, 2, 1.
Welcome back to the Basement Surge, everybody. Thank you very much for joining me today. I have a great episode planned for you. Like I said in the intro, Billy Thorpe is here. We're going to talk a little bit about being an Amazon influencer, how to get there, what it's like, and like playing with new toys, because I like toys. But before we get into that, do me a favor. If you're watching us over on YouTube, hit that subscribe button, give me a thumbs up, and ring that bell to get notified of fresh episodes of the Basement Surge. I'm going to bring Billy in now. Let's see what he's got to say. Billy, thank you very much for joining me today.
What's up, John? Man, thanks for having me, dude. Quite the intro. maybe John, maybe you put a little extra on that. Okay, I appreciate it though. It's gonna be a lot of fun. Yeah, we were cracking up. You're like the biggest Amazon influencer that I know. I'm like, oh, thank God he did that. Thank God he put that little thing.
Well, you are, man.
that you know. I love it. Yeah,
that's right. You are the biggest Amazon influencer I know.
Perfect.
So, and you and I have been friends for, I want to say, like 2 or 3 years now.
Yeah, for a while. Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm very surprised that this is the first time you and I are actually doing an episode together, because you have been kicking ass all over, first the podcasting space, then the Clubhouse, and then like now you're kicking ass as an Amazon influencer. Like, it's awesome, man. You're doing a great job.
Dude, I'm just a guy who's dumb enough to keep showing up. I'm like, whatever I have to do to punch my own time clock and not someone else's. Like, so who knows? Next year I might be shoveling dog crap out of my neighbor's yard to make a buck. Who knows?
Well, winter is almost over, so I'm sorry, you're gonna have to stop your snow shoveling routine.
Dude, I live near the beach, man. We don't get any snow. We don't get.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
You're down south.
Yeah.
Damn it.
I'm way south, man. I'm like, forget. And if it keeps getting any colder, I'm going to move further south. That's the deal.
Right. I don't blame you, man. I used to live in Florida, and I missed the winter time.
How did you move? How did you leave Florida to go back up north where it's freezing cold all the time?
I like the snow. Like, I'm a snow bunny. Like, I'm born in February. Like, my birthday's coming up, so it's like I'm trying. I always tried to get back up north and get home. I like the seasons. Florida doesn't have 4 seasons.
That's true. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, they have hot, and then they have rain.
They have hot, real hot, and rain and smug.
Right. Man, Billy, thank you so much for coming on. Like, seriously, I'm so surprised. Like, I never had you on the show before.
Well, dude, I think one time I jumped on like some kind of I can't remember. It was maybe a year or so ago. I don't even know if it was this show or another live show you're doing. I mean, you're all over the internet as well, so I don't know what it was, but I do remember jumping like impromptu like onto a live stream with you. But then, yeah. Official show. It's good to be here.
Right. Yeah. I think I was doing another podcast on teaching people how to bring your podcast to a vodcast and introducing video and everything. So you were helping me out on that. We had done a room on Clubhouse together.
Oh yeah.
Which I had tried to turn into an episode, but I don't want to talk about my failures, because you're pretty successful in the space, man. Like,
let's talk about mine. I got some.
Yes.
I'll share.
No, man. Like, the last thing I mentioned in that intro was you like fishing. Okay, so now the podcast that I known you for was your fishing podcast, right?
Yep.
And you were always talking about how you were trying to teach people how to monetize the show and how to bring on sponsors and all of that. So can you talk a little bit about that? Like, what is it? Because we don't have any sponsors. We have affiliates. There's a difference.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. One is commission sales. The other one is like a W-2 job. Okay. So,
Right.
well, man, I think first of all, like the fishing show that I started, two. I started a live stream fishing show. That was the very first one. It was designed to be a live show on Facebook every single week. And we did that. My co-host and I did. There's a lot of history. I mean, not a lot of history there, but it was a lot of stuff we didn't do right. We didn't set it up right. We didn't have clear expectations. So I ended up leaving that show after about 25 episodes. Luckily, with not a black eye or bruised up face, because we were like going at each other about the live show. But through that, all of our audience was like, you guys should just create a podcast. And so that's how I got into the podcasting game, was taking the audio from the live show and repurposing it as a podcast. And then fast forward a few months, I own a t-shirt printing business. The pandemic hits. My business basically just goes quiet. Like, it goes quiet. Did a bunch of like canceled orders. And then another friend of mine who's also in the fishing space, and he already had a fishing publication, but he didn't have anything online. So he was like, hey, like, we got together and was like, let's do a show together. I got all the digital stuff. You have all the relationships with like captains and all this through North Carolina. And so let's just replicate your fishing publication onto a podcast. And so I thought, man, this is just going to blow up, like, because he's already got an audience and everything. But I didn't realize the people who like read a fishing newspaper and people who listen to podcasts are two different breeds. I didn't know. So it was a little bit of an uphill climb, but we started off, right out of the gate saying, hey, we want to sponsor this thing. We want to get this thing sponsored. We want to make money.
Right.
My business was suffering. He was unsure what his business was everybody was unsure during that 2020 year. And man, so we just put together a plan, and I just went out and read every article about how to sell a sponsorship deal, and every one of them said you got to have a ton of followers. And I'm like, well, obviously I don't, so I got to figure out how to put this sales pitch a little bit different. And so so I focus on the quality, not the quantity. And a lot of content creators will focus on the quantity, and they'll think, well, I got to build this thing up for 3, 4, 5 years before I can make money, because you got to have this big audience. And what my approach in simplest form was, I'm going to go after brands and deals and sponsorship deals by the quality of the audience, to say, hey, I'm matching this up perfectly with who you want to target. And so, we didn't have a huge audience. We got sponsored at episode number 5. We did 140 episodes. Wow. 135 of them were all paid sponsorships on there. And so, yeah, man, it was good, but it was work. It was creative thinking. And then it was showing up and putting in the reps to, like, it was kind of like getting prepaid for something we weren't really sure, like, what's going to happen. And however, we kept showing up and kept doing the deal, kept doing the episodes, and our sponsors were happy. And that show, I think they're going to bring that show back, but I stopped doing that show to get into the Amazon stuff more heavily. So that's kind of the history of that podcast.
You brought up a really great point, where it's like, a lot of podcasters think that, you have to have thousands or millions of downloads per episode, to get sponsorships. And a lot of podcasters sleep on the fact that, you don't have to wait. Like, you can just go from day one, be like, all right, I have a super great idea. And if you're, I think, like a good salesman or vibrant and passionate enough about what you're talking about, you can really sell anything. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man. And I think you have to find the right connections and the right relationships. I think too many people are, like, oh, I got this podcast and I'm going to go after like the biggest name. When we think of a sponsor, we think of whatever, we think of like some huge corporate names or whatever. Now, we didn't do that. We went after a really localized boat dealership. They got a couple of different locations. They're already super involved in sponsoring tournaments and parades and everything
Mm,
else. And if people are already used to spending marketing dollars, and you can go through and say, "Hey, I saw you. You're part of the Christmas parade. I saw you part of this tournament. I saw you part of that event. Now we're creating
right.
another event, but it's online. It's in a form of a podcast. We think you would be an amazing fit for this show and to help us, another local business, another local, whatever." And we went really that localized thing, but every community has its own like group of people and people who want the attention of that audience. And so I think it's really getting clear on who you're talking to on your show,
Mm,
and then really getting clear of like what sponsor is going to benefit from them and vice versa. Like how do you get this trifecta, relationship going,
mm,
between you as a host, your sponsor, your audience, and really create a community overall. And that's what we did, and we did it super quick. And then, from that we were able to take that community and take sponsorship deals, and we quickly realized like, okay, we can only put so many sponsors. We only want to put so many sponsors on our show. Now I know there's several shows out
okay.
there where the first 5 minutes they're just rattling off sponsors forever,
Right.
and that's totally cool. And if you can do that and your audience doesn't care, then go for it. But we didn't want to do that, and so we're like, how do we create more revenue with this podcast? And then we started creating a membership group where we then charged like, I don't know, $10 a month or whatever, and provided an additional
Mm,
episode per week to that audience, but it was just a little bit different. So the episode,
right.
the content, and man, we were able to grow that. I think when I left, it was over 300 people. So it was pretty crazy.
Wow.
Yeah. It was,
Wow. And then making that extra episode, like it's a lot of work. Like it's a ton of work.
depends on how you do it. So we produce stuff very much like what you do, like live to drive. That's how I produce everything. Every piece of content that comes across this desk is live to drive. I barely
Right.
edit. I try not to touch the editing suites at all unless I'm just doing something for social media. But
Mm,
dude, we did that and we are like, we got to have a plan where it's quick. Now it's still work, but it's not as much work as like full blown editing a show or taking out all the ums and ahs. And also, we knew our
yeah.
audience. Our audience, not sound audio engineers. They're fishermen. They're
Mm,
people who are pretty rough around the edges. If they,
right.
if they can find the play button on their podcast player, we've accomplished something great. So, they're very smart, intelligent group of people, just not very techy. So that's the difference.
That's okay. That's all
Yeah.
right.
So you got to just figure that part
Uh,
out. It's like figure out who your
yeah,
audience is
yeah.
and make it simple.
Yeah.
Make it really simple. Yeah.
So I think that I think you can teach me a couple of things for here for the Basement Surge because I don't really have a niche. I don't want to niche
Yeah.
down the Basement Surge. Like I talk about whatever I want. I talk about whatever my interests are. Right now, you piqued my interest on being an Amazon influencer, so I'm like, hey Billy, come on the show, let's do this. So for me, I think it's kind of hard for me to go and get the big advertisers, like you said. I like to promote my show as being from Brooklyn, New York. So like you said, I'm approaching local mom and pop shops and trying to get sponsorships that way.
Yeah. Well, and I think too, you can build your show around that. You can build your show around like a local business highlight or something of that nature. As long as you have
Right.
that local aspect to it, and that's another thing too is like, just because you don't have like a big giant audience, or it's like you can kind of slip, or a niche, like you probably do have a niche. Like if you go look at your analytics, there's probably a
Mm,
niche with inside of there. Either it's an age range, it's a demographic like location, or something like that. Like there's some kind of niche that's listening to your show. There's some kind of niche that listens to Joe Rogan's podcast, even though you would say
right.
on the outside this guy doesn't have a niche. He has a niche, and he is able to sell sponsorship deals based upon that niche, not just his numbers. Would guarantee that's part of the conversation. And that's the same thing
Yeah.
with any type of content creation. You got to really figure out how to package it as well. Like on our podcast, it
Yes.
wasn't all about numbers, and we never talk about numbers. First of all, we always talk about people. We always talk about how many people are watching or listening to the show. Because if you go to a marketing director and you go, well, I got 500 downloads per episode in 30 days, they're
Mhm.
going to be like, what? Like, what are you talking about? Like, we have my little niece has 12 million from shaking her booty on TikTok. Like, what are you talking about? It's like that's gonna be the conversation. So you really got to talk about the people, the quality of the people, and then also positioning your podcast packaging. It's like, what are you for you, John? Like, you have video, you have audio, you have a website. I mean, you do a really great job on social media. Like, you have all these different things where a logo can be attached, where a message can be attached. And so a lot of podcasters are one dimensional. I got the show. What's the numbers? What's the downloads? Well, I didn't pitch that. I said, hey, whatever my show gets promoted on, you're with me. You're my sponsor. You're going everywhere I'm going. If I'm going on the internet, you're going. If I'm printing a billboard on the side of the street, which I wouldn't recommend, you're going. It's like they're going everywhere. And also compare your podcast to a traditional advertising model. Traditional advertising model says, John, I'm going to charge you $500 for this newspaper ad. Well, depending on that newspaper ad has a shelf life. Is that a week? Is that a day? What is that?
Right.
That's going away. Well, on our show, we said, hey, we're going to bake everything in, and then podcasts traditionally will get listened to again, like older episodes. They'll go back and listen to our catalog, and I could have proved it on that show at any point in time. People are searching for information, so they go back and listen to those older episodes. And so when we bake it in, you're now getting into the show in perpetuity, forever, on those old episodes until the show goes away. And I overcame, several like marketing, like, what's your CPM rate? I don't do a CPM rate. If you want me to, I'm happy to do so, but then I'm going to have to charge you every single month for the life of my podcasts for every single download that ever happens in perpetuity if I charge you a CPM model. Or I can charge you this one flat rate. It's a premium rate. I understand, but you pay one time for a lifetime ad spend. Name one advertising company that does that. Not one.
You're a genius. I didn't think of that. I didn't think of it that way. Yeah, that's really great because I tried to stay away from baked in promotions, baked in ads, and because it's there forever. And the host I use, Buzzsprout, they have the dynamic audio before. They have pre-roll and mid-roll ads that you can insert, and you could change those whenever you want. So.
Yeah.
Wow, that's pretty.
I mean, it's just one strategy, right? And it's like, now if I had a million people listen to my show, I'm totally doing CPM model. I'm totally I'm selling the whole catalog every time. I'll put you in the entire catalog, past, present, and future. Like, here we go. And then, for 30 days or whatever. And I think if you have a huge audience, that's a really good option. But if you don't, it's like, what can I sell? So how can I package up my show? And then how can I, put, what's the benefit of advertising with me and being a sponsor of my show besides the community, but on the actual, advertising mindset, like, what is the value here? And it's like, you're with me forever, dude. So those episodes that boat dealership paid for a year, 2 years, 3 years ago, those are still going to get downloads on YouTube. And I'd argue probably more this year than the year we launched it. And so that ad is right there. That logo is on the screen forever. And it's like, you're not going to pay for that. Facebook's not going to give you forever for one-time ad spend. But that's how you can monetize quickly as a small creator. Now, once you grow and do everything else, you can switch it up. But yeah, that'd be my suggestions.
What? It seems I have a lot to learn, Billy.
Well, dude, this is what happens when you lose a business and you get scrappy in your brain to go like, I got to make some money. I know I have the talent to produce a show, but how do I get paid to do this content? And that was, my content creator journey. That's always been the thing. It's like, I'm an entrepreneur first, content creator second. And as long as I keep that prioritized, I've been making, money. Now I'm not making millions of dollars, but I make more money every year than I did the last.
Well, you're the most successful one I know, so
you got to get networked, man. You need to know more people. Out of all the people I know, I'm like the bottom. I'm looking up to those guys. You gotta hang out with cooler people.
So I know that, like, speaking of being an entrepreneur and putting the business first, it's kind of like you set a goal of becoming an Amazon influencer because you've seen the capabilities and the possibilities of being successful and making not a crap load of money, but a decent amount of money, making a living out of it. And so I know from following you, I know that what you did was it was an uphill struggle for you to get accepted into the Amazon influencer program. Because they require a certain amount of followers. So talk about the uphill battle, by trying to get all those followers on I think you did Instagram, right?
Yeah, that's right. And so this was, I think, a little over maybe 2 years ago, something like that, a year and a half, 2 years ago. And it was a little different than it is now. Now, I don't think there's like a threshold of follower count. I think it is just like engagement. I think they really want to see a high engagement rate and probably some other stuff that makes it a deciding factor, like activity or something. I don't really know. Like, they don't really say, do these 5 things and you'll get accepted. The idea of the influencer program is to bring on people who are influencers from social media to be a part of the program, to be influencers on Amazon. And so therefore I
Right.
wasn't really a traditional quote unquote influencer, and actually hated that word for a long time. I was like, oh, those people you see out in the public, like just staring at themselves, making duck lips. Like, I don't want to be known as that person. But
Right.
when I learned,
Why not? There's nothing wrong with that. Hang on. There's nothing wrong.
no, do you, whatever you need to do. I just didn't want to be that guy. I don't want to twerk
Yeah.
on TikTok, And so
Yeah.
so I learned about the program, being in a clubhouse room, talking about podcast sponsorship deals. And then my friend Monty Weaver, my friend Chris Giles, and a couple other people were like, hey dude, you should check out Amazon. You can go live, talk about products, stuff you already own, on Amazon Live, and then get paid when people watch the show and buy the product. And I'm like, that's crazy, dude. And they're telling me they're making thousands of dollars a month doing this. And so I quickly ran to apply for the Amazon influencer program. Denied. And at that time, they told me, like, you got to have 2,000 followers on on
Right.
social. And I think I had like 800 or something on Instagram. And I'm like, dang it, this is crazy. So, dude, I worked my tail off for months, like 3-4 months, just on Clubhouse. Like, hey, I'm trying to get approved for this program. Like, somebody just come follow me. And at that time, Clubhouse didn't have any like back chat, none of that crap. Like, none of, they didn't have anything. So you had to go to Instagram to talk to people and chat with people. So it made it a little bit easier. And so then I get to 2,000 people after a few months. And then it's like, I apply, declined. What? You gotta have 2,500 people. So they upped the threshold. So I was
Oh
like,
man.
okay, 2,500. Because back then you just typed in how many you had, and then it would like go check it. So I typed in
Right.
2,500. It's like approved. I'm like, okay, let's go. And dude, so
There you go.
and then I eventually got there, but I kind of lied on that little application. But then I got in and started creating content, and they do a manual review after you're in, so it wasn't like I cheated the system completely. And so anyway, man, I went in, I started doing the work, and started figuring out like what is Amazon Live, what are shoppable videos, and all that. So that's how I kind of got in. But yeah, dude, that to get the audience I needed was a struggle. And still 2 years later, I think I'm only at like 3,200 followers on Instagram, probably way less engagement now than back then because I'm not doing as much over there. But yeah, man, it's a grind. Anybody says like growing on social media is easy, I'm like, maybe for you, but not for me. I suck.
Yeah, no, it's hard. It's very hard, because I know I post content every day,
Yeah.
and it's an uphill battle. But do you have to maintain the followers
I think
to stay in the
I
program?
think once you're in, you're solid. So so how it kind of works, and just to give somebody an idea if they go apply. So first of all, you go just Google apply for Amazon influencer program. You'll find a link somewhere. Then you apply. I believe they're going to look for like engagement. So it'll tell you automatically if you're accepted into the program or not. And then, but what that means is once you're accepted into the program, they're going to give you access to like a storefront. So now there's 2 different programs. You got Amazon Associates, which we're probably all familiar with. It's been around for a long time. So it's their affiliate marketing. So almost anybody
Right.
can go sign up for it, get approved, make sure you have all the terms of service met and go like start posting links on your social profiles, your blog, your YouTube channel, and drive
Yep.
traffic to Amazon. So that's called offsite traffic. Well, you have to have one of those accounts to apply. So make sure you create one of those, then apply. And if you get it accepted, then you get a storefront. So what the storefront's going to allow you to do is kind of curate like a list of products, so like wish list. So like I have like podcasting gear, music gear, whatever, and I can create my own little storefront right there. And then I can send people to that storefront if I want to. Now that's once again, I'm bringing offsite traffic onto Amazon. Well, then they have and I'm going to say this as quickly as I can, but they have live shows. So then once you have the storefront access, you now have live show access. So from your phone or from your computer using a stream key, you can go live onto the Amazon platform, talk about whatever it is on your desk. So I can talk about this remote control for my light. If they sell it on Amazon, then I can put in like 40 products into a carousel and just go live and talk about these products. If people are watching live and they buy, then I get a commission once the product ships. So that is one way to monetize Amazon. The second way,
So
go ahead.
I'm going to start looking into this. Sorry.
Yeah, you should. You should. And then the second way is called shoppable videos. Now, this is very interesting because on Amazon, if you go on an Amazon listing and you look up Shure SM7B, I know that they're on there, and you'll see a carousel down the side of videos or photos, and then you'll see a play button with the video. You click on that video, it's going to open up another window, and it's going to have probably the brand stuff on one side, and it's going to have influencer stuff, and then like customer videos. Well, the influencer videos, if it says like related videos, I think if you watch one of those and then you make a purchase, the last video you watch gets a commission from that microphone. And so
No way.
that's called shoppable content. And that's what I primarily focus on every single day. And then the last thing is photos. So you can post photos as well. And those will show up on those listings and other places.
Wow.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
So there are multiple streams of income you can actually do from Amazon. It's not just one thing.
Yeah, 100%. And the stream that I make the most amount of money on is nothing to do with Amazon. I mean, it is, but I leverage Amazon's platform to make videos for Amazon sellers. And then I post those videos. So what happens is someone sent me this smartwatch. So somebody will reach out to me. They'll say, hey, can you make a video of my smartwatch? I look at it and go, sure. They go, okay. I go, well, hold on. It's $50. And they're like, okay, cool. So they send me the product. I do the video. I upload it to my account. It goes to the product page. Typically, Amazon has full control of placement, which it's not always guaranteed. But typically, it'll go to the product page, and then I can earn commission off of that. Well, then I send that product link to the brand or to the rep or whoever I'm working with, and then they send me $50. And then, so I make $50 up front. I keep the product that I then sell on Whatnot or somewhere else, and then I make residual commission potentially off of the Amazon platform.
Wow. So see, that was my next question. Okay. Like, are companies just sending you products to review, or are you actually buying these products?
Yeah, dude, I'm not buying anything.
Wow, that's amazing.
So you can review anything as long as it's available on Amazon. I don't care if you bought it from Walmart, Target. I don't care if you picked it up at a garage sale. You can do a video about it, and it can be all kinds of videos. It can be an unboxing, a demo, a first thoughts. I've had this mic for 5 years. This is, whatever you want it to be. It doesn't really have to be a full YouTube demo. Like, the production value over there is the threshold is very low. Like, you don't have to create a YouTube style video. Now, if you show up like I show up, so I show up like this. And so if I'm doing a watch video, I'm talking about the watch, obviously it's out of the box. And then I'm like, today we're going to talk about the smartwatch. XYZ company sent it over, compensated me to make this video. Bam, I switch over here. I do a top down shot. I demo the thing. I switch back over here. Hope that helps. Bam, video's done. And I do this 135 times a month last year on average.
Wow.
Yeah. And there's like a lot of details with inside of my business model, but the thing is I always do stuff in threes for whatever it is. It's a trifecta. brand deals,
Mhm.
which is when people send me the product. That's my number one objective. I want to build those relationships and maintain them because I can get free product, I can resell the product to make money, and then I can also get residual commission off of that. So the con here, and this is like a little master class, but the con is a lot of these products you don't know the name. When's the last time you saw this name ever on a watch? You never have. You've never heard of it. So people aren't probably going to Amazon to find this type of. It's not like the Apple Watch. They're not like going and typing in the
Right.
name of it. They're just kind of finding it. So the sell through, you're not going to make as much on the Amazon commission side, but it's more scalable because Amazon, one, you can do more videos, you can charge more money, so you can scale up those two ways. But then Amazon will move stuff around like any other business. So one day you'll have all your
Mhm.
videos on a carousel, and I got 2,400 of them. The next day they'll remove an entire carousel. So I went from making,
Oh,
over $100 a day from Amazon commission to this month I'm making $70 a day. So it's like
okay.
I wouldn't really put all my eggs in that basket. So that's why I do all the brand deal stuff. So yeah, it gets
Wow.
convoluted pretty fast, but there's a lot of strategy to different ways of making money with the program.
So, uh, like, what is it like? I mean, as far as the products go, like, people just once you join the program, people just send you products, or do you have to call up these companies and say, "Hey, send me your product, and I'll promote it on my Amazon page"?
Yeah, great question. So once you first start making videos, I would make videos of everything on my desk, everything in my house, and make them the best quality that you can be. And the reason why I get so many brand deals is because I make really good quality videos. They look good, they're
Mm.
quick turnaround. I can make, very detailed quality videos. But they don't take me a lot of time just because of my workflow, my setup, and all that stuff. But then what happens is there's a several different ways you can go live and get brands attentions. You can get into some of these Facebook groups that they're in and get their attention that way. And that's what I did early on. I reached out to a lot of sellers that were in just different Facebook groups who needed these types of videos. And so once you get 5 or 10 reps and you start putting out more content, the beauty is if I do a light remote like this and I do the
Mhm.
video, well, this shows up on related product pages. So the competitor of this remote manufacturer is now seeing my video on their page and they're going, huh, I don't have that video. I need one for my product. This guy did a great job. And then they reach out to me and say, hey,
Ah.
can you do this video? And this happens all the time. It happens with portable monitors. I get portable monitors, solar power stations, electric scooters, but then I'm also doing like fingernail clippers and like all kinds of other random stuff. And there's a strategy to picking product and approving product and different things based on resale value, how easy it is to make the product video, because my business, the way that I've set it up is a frequency model. So it's low ticket, high frequency. So I'm not charging a
Okay.
ton for the videos, but I'm doing a ton of videos and I'm getting product and I'm reselling it. So over the last year, I resold over 1,100 products on an app called Whatnot. So it's like a secondary
Right.
eBay meets Twitch. And so I created an account over there, sold over 1,000 products, got about 2,600 buyers that follow me on that platform. And so I was really
Wow.
able to create additional content and grow a whole different community, different than what I'm doing on any other platform.
Wow. That's amazing,
I've
man.
been busy.
This sounds like such a great deal. It's such a good business model, I think, because you like even if you wanted to, you can stick to one specific niche, let's say, like podcasting, and you can only sell podcasting gear or fishing. Like
Yeah.
have you gotten any fishing gear out of
No,
this?
dude. I mean, I've gotten some. But it's not a lot. And really what I do, I mainly focus on like electronics now, just because the resale value is so high. It's like it's way
Right.
better than most stuff that I can get. But, like for instance, this month the Samsung Galaxy S24 came out, the new
Hmm.
Android phone. And so I don't have that phone. I'm an Apple user. But a company reached out to me
Right.
and said, "Hey, can you do a video about our phone or case and the phone case?" And I'm like, "Well, yeah, I can. I don't have the phone." And they're like, "Oh, sorry, you can't do the video." And I was like, "Well, hold on. Do you need the phone?" I'm like, "Well, I'm not going to go buy a phone to make a $20 video or whatever." So I
Right.
said, "Well, why don't you send me a dummy phone?" Why don't you send me a non-working dummy phone? I know you have them. You're the manufacturer of a case. And then I'll
Sure.
do the video with the dummy phone. And they're like, yeah, cool. So they send me a dummy phone. Well, I not only do their video, well, now I've done probably 50 other cases. So I made over $1,000 this month making videos with one dummy phone and a bunch of different cases. And this is like from a
Wow.
bunch of different manufacturing companies. So there's a lot of ways to scale and to do this, this business model. But I know other people, man, they'll do, and I'm sorry I'm talking so much, but that's what I'm
No, go
pumped
right
about it.
ahead.
But there's other people in my community where they'll do no brand deals. They'll totally just focus on Amazon, which I think is a little bit risky. And there's reasons, for that, of like removing carousels and all that stuff. But they'll just do 10-second videos, everything. Their house, their mom's
Mm.
house, grandma's house, Airbnbs. They'll go, I don't know. I mean, there's some sketchy stuff that goes on, but they're just kind of rocking and rolling, and they'll put up thousands of videos and make $40,000-$50,000 in passive income while still doing their other content creation or business or whatever. So it's pretty crazy.
Hmm.
It's a good opportunity.
Bill-
It's a good opportunity.
I think Billy, I think you've opened up a new door for me.
Dude, run through it, my friend.
I'm gonna try to get there. I really am. What's the craziest product that any company has ever sent you? Do you have like a crazy product?
Man, I don't know. I mean, somebody did send me like a $3,000 power station, like a solar charger power station, like big battery bank. That was pretty crazy. I've gotten some really cool electric scooters. Sometimes you'll get like weird stuff. It's like a pencil sharpener that doubles as like a phone charger, that doubles as like a shaver for your face or something. Like you get weird stuff like that on occasion. Um,
Like who makes this stuff? Like,
Dude, I'm telling you, and every time I think like, oh, this is gonna slow down, like there's no way there's new product. There's always new product. There's always new sellers. There's
Right.
always there's and even if so, even if I make like there's always new phones. So like this iPhone 14 Pro, I made a bunch of phone cases. Well, there's gonna be a 15, there's gonna be a 16, there's gonna be an 18, there's gonna be a 20. It's like
right.
it's just gonna keep going. And if you're here to make the videos, then you're gonna have a business.
It kind of reminds me about the business model like I grew up hearing my parents talk about, where you want to get a job in a business that's not gonna die, that people need, that's never gonna go away, kind of thing, like taxes and death, and and I think that Amazon is not only is it here to stay, but it's proved, I think, that you can make a living off of doing these product videos, and it's totally amazing.
Well, and I think the cool thing too is like it's an industry. It's not just a platform. So it's like,
Right.
now, and I'm not playing in all these spaces because I don't have the qualifications, but on TikTok Shop launched. So they have TikTok Shop, which if you're a seller, you can go create a shop and sell over there. But if you're a content
Yeah.
creator, they get a creator program, and they're paying crazy amounts of commission, somewhere between 10 and 50% commission, depending on the product, depending on the brand. Now, the brands really, from my understanding, aren't paying creators to make the video because they're paying such a high commission. But dude,
Right.
I know people over there are slaying it. So you have that. You have secondary platforms like eBay. So eBay just started their own live stuff. You have Whatnot. So Whatnot's a
Right.
huge live streaming platform to sell. There's another, I can't remember what the other one called, Depop or something. I don't know. There's like several different secondary markets where if you are a content creator and you know how to get in front of a camera and talk and present, and in
Yeah.
some cases, some people don't know how to do that, and they're still making a ton of money because they keep showing up. But you can literally in the secondary market just go to a yard sale, buy, and I did this. I went to a yard sale, bought a pair of shoes for $2, Nike Air Force Ones, and sold them for $40 on a Whatnot live stream. Do that 50
Wow.
times a week. You got a business.
See, and Gary Vaynerchuk does that all the time. He
Yeah.
goes and buys coffee mugs, right?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, exactly. So it's a pretty good business, man. It's pretty fun. So yeah, it's a pretty fun business model.
that's amazing. Like I'm seriously gonna try to get into this, okay? And I might fudge my numbers a little bit when I apply, just like you did. So,
Yeah, man. See, well, now what you do is you just sign in, I think, with your account. So
yeah. Okay, great.
yeah, it's a
Like,
little different.
this is seriously worth a try, especially for podcasters and content creators who are already in front of the camera and already have, like, let's say, a YouTube channel. So you're used to, being in front
Bro,
of the camera.
you're
and
gonna
making a
kill me,
video.
bro. I gotta use the bathroom so bad right now. You're gonna kill me. Are we live? We're not
Go
live,
right
right?
ahead. No, we're
Dude,
not
I'll,
live. Go
I'll be
ahead.
right back. I'm so sorry.
Yeah. No problem. I guess he had too much coffee today. He has been up since 4:30. That's all right, Billy. You take your time. I'm here. I'm waiting. I love that set. What is that, a ukulele? His clock always says the wrong time. Every time I see this set, it says 6 o'clock. It's not 6 o'clock. And I can't tell from here, but I wonder if it's Jordans that are on the wall there. That's pretty cool. I think this guy has it, like, he's got it all figured out. Because if you have the followers and you have the passion and the drive to do this, then you could probably make a lot of money. So if you're not an Amazon influencer yet, try to apply. Build up your followers. Do whatever you have to do to get into the program, and try to make some money. This isn't like a get rich quick scheme. It's not like, hey, give me $500 and I'll tell you the secret sauce. No, it's not. Just apply to the damn program and get it done. And you can make some extra cash this month. That is a cool looking ukulele. What is that, an owl next to that? I gotta get me a chandelier. I want a chandelier.
20 minutes later.
I'm so sorry, dude.
That's fine.
Oh, my
Don't worry about it.
That
Don't worry
latte
about it.
crushed me. I'm sorry, dude. You have
Hey, man, it happens.
You have my full permission since you have to edit stuff now. You have my full permission to use that any way that you want. If you need to use that as a transition, you're totally fine. Whatever brings
That's
most
fine, because
value.
I was talking about your set while you were gone. I was trying to keep it going. So
Dude, I'm sorry. Oh my gosh.
No problem, man. I've done it. Like I remember with this one time I was on a show where they literally, like, in order to be on the show, you had to have alcohol. You had to drink.
Oh my
on the
gosh.
show. So I think by the, like, halfway through the show, I had something like 4 or 5 beers, and beer just goes right through me. So I'm like, you guys gotta wait. I gotta be right back. Like,
I'm glad I'm not the only one. But
yeah, no, man, it happens. Don't worry about it. Oh man. All right. Yeah, man. So, it's kind of like the Amazon influencer program seems like such a great idea for basically any content creator to make some, not only extra cash, but to just turn it into a side hustle, to turn it into a career, kind of, you know what I mean?
yeah, man, and I think it's that I think like any of this stuff like we talking about like live streaming, shoppable content. The thing about it is people who are spending, thousands or hundreds of thousands or millions of dollars developing product, they need the people like us to be able to show it, share it, see how it works. And that's the cool thing about Amazon is, like, you get on there and start shopping and you see a lot of 3D renders. And then a lot of those companies are Chinese manufacturers, so they don't have the personnel to really get on and in English. I mean, they can speak English. I mean, but it's not the same as, like, I'm here telling you about this type of product. And so it's kind of an interesting approach where it's like, because you'll see those 3D renders of like a car, phone holder or something like that for your car. And you're like, what does that look like? But when I can bring it on screen and say, here's what it does, here's how it moves, here's what it's made out of, it's metal, it turns, it twists, it sticks, it's like, then you're like, it's just that confidence as a buyer to go, oh, okay, yeah, I can see that, I can buy that. And that's the thing too, like people often, and some people love this and some people hate me for this, but they're like, you're just doing all kinds of product videos, blah blah blah, like you're just getting paid to do the videos. But I'm not coming from a position of like I'm creating a YouTube channel and getting paid and doing this big detailed elaborate video. I'm literally pulling stuff out of a box most of the time, saying this is what it feels like, this is what it looks like, and here's how it works, and that's it. And like, I'm not telling you to buy it. I'm not telling you not to buy it. Obviously, if you buy it, I make money, and that's great. But if you don't buy it,
you're telling them to buy it, Billy.
I don't care. Yeah, buy it. Don't shop on Amazon without looking at my page first, okay?
That's right.
That's right. But I mean, that's a cool thing too, because here's what you can do with these videos. Now you create all this content. So I've created 2,450 something pieces of content for Amazon. Well, now I can take that content and repurpose it to YouTube, link it all up, and then have offsite traffic coming to that. So if somebody is looking, you got to get better with titles, and it takes a little more time and that's the reason why I haven't done it. But I need to get somebody on my team that's really, savvy with YouTube, and just go put these demo videos out there and then drive traffic that way. So, and that pays more money.
Awesome.
That type of offsite stuff. So yeah, it's pretty cool, man. A lot of opportunities, but, and I think as a content creator too, is like, use your skill set. How can you serve different companies? You might even be able to be a podcast host for somebody who wants to create a local business podcast or a local show for their business, but they don't have the skill set to do it, and they just want to like sponsor a show and have their name all over it and have you wear their hat and t-shirt and talk about pizza and eat, whatever. That might be an option as a talent, So I think there's a lot of ways to make money as a content creator, for sure.
Yeah. I mean, especially me being here in New York, maybe I might start going to pizzerias and saying, what's the best pizza in Brooklyn? So yeah, I might start doing that.
Dude, I mean, and that's the thing, man. It's like, and here's the cool thing about being a content creator is like, you don't have to be just one type of content creator. Like if you look right now, I'm doing a behind the scenes. People are watching a live stream of just me talking on mute to you. Like, I hope mute based on some actions that have happened during this show. I hope it's muted. No, but it's muted. So now I'm like doing this live stream behind the scenes. I'll do unboxing videos of Amazon products that I'm going to make videos about. I'll do a live selling show where I'll sell stuff, live of the stuff that I get. I'll do like calls with other content creators to share strategies. So I'm creating all this different types of content, and no one's really saying, well, I thought you're a real estate agent. Why are you trying to do this or that, or whatever. It's like, no, I'm a content creator. I can do all this stuff because I can turn on the camera, I can talk to it, and I got a nice microphone, or whatever.
I can do what I want.
I can do anything. I can come on John's show and have a lot of fun and goof off. So
that's right.
So yeah. Right. Anyway, man, Speaking of goofing off, I'll talk forever about this stuff, dude. I love it. It's a lot of fun.
All right, Billy. Well, thank you very much for coming on the show today. I know you have turned me into trying to be an Amazon influencer.
Let's go.
I think it's going to happen.
Well, dude, reach out to me anytime. I'll love to help you out, man.
Awesome. Thank you very much. Everybody, you can see Billy. If you follow Billy on Facebook, he's live all the time. Okay. And he's all over social media. But if you want to buy things that he's selling, head on over to dealbilly.live. Okay, he's got his own website, and go check it out. All the links to everything we spoke about today is down in the show notes. Billy, you have anything you want to promote specifically?
No, man, I don't think so. I'm pretty bad at the promotional stuff. So no, just follow me. I'm always doing something, and if you have any questions about the influencer stuff, reach out to me. I would be happy to help you.
There you go. All of Billy's links will be down in the show notes. And, of course, if you want more episodes of The Basement Surge, head down to the show notes or go to basementsurge.com. It's over there. Billy, thank you again very much for your time. I know you're a busy guy.
Thank you, man. Anytime. I appreciate it. It was a lot of fun.
All right, everybody. I'll see you next time. Billy, hang out in the green room until after. Hang on.
Let's go. Turn up the volume. Tone The basement of the Empire State. This is the Basement Surge.
3, 2, 1.
Yo, what's up? Hope you guys are doing good. That's my friend John, has the Basement Surge podcast. Go check that out. That was the interview that we did, and I told him I was going to promote it and kept forgetting about it. Or not forgetting about it. I got a little under the weather, and so anyway, this is hopefully that was some good promotion. So I got a bunch of people jumping in here. What's up? The Side Hustle Shuffle says, I love the Amazon Influencer Program. Great overview on the ins and outs, and I've been in for 3 years and work about an hour a day and maintained 5 income streams since the beginning. Love that. Yeah, plenty. I can't remember exactly what we talked about in that interview, but definitely a lot of opportunity with it. Yeah, nature calls, bro. Yeah, that was. I was like, yeah, you can keep that in there, man. I drink too much coffee. That's pretty funny, man. That's real behind the scenes action. That's what happens sometimes. Glad you guys enjoyed that. I think I got another something here. Let me see if I can find another video. I should have queued more up, but maybe I won't. Maybe I will. Maybe I won't. Let's see. I'm gonna queue this one up here. Maybe this will work. Dude, wait, what's happening? Nope. All right. Just a second. Let me see here. There we go. Let's keep talking about monetization. Play this. What is going on, everyone? Welcome back to Creating Daily. I'm Billy Thorpe, and so far it looks like I've been creating daily on this podcast. Today we're going to be talking about 10 plus ways to monetize as a content creator. Now, I am multi-streaming this to Clubhouse, to YouTube, to Facebook, to LinkedIn, so be sure to say hello in the comments. Except if you're at LinkedIn, maybe come over to Facebook or Clubhouse because I can't get comments for whatever reason. But I'm really excited about today's episode to share with you how you can monetize as a small audience content creator or a growing content creator or a growing audience. When I first started podcasting, I was looking up, how do I make money at this? And every time I would look it up, people were like, you're going to have 10,000 downloads per episode. You have 10,000 followers. You have 10,000 subscribers. You're going to have 10,000 insert metric to be able to make any money as a content creator. And I can proudly say I've been content creating full-time for about 3 years, and I don't even have 10,000 anything on any platform. Maybe on Clubhouse. I have close to 10,000. But that is a way different animal than Instagram or TikTok or YouTube or Facebook or any of those other places. And I'm able to make a full-time income by helping other content creators, by doing membership groups, by doing all kinds of different stuff. So I've been able to do that successfully over the last couple of years. So I wanted to just jump in and kind of share how I've been able to do that. And some of these are that I'm going to share, like I say, 10 plus ways. Some I've done, which I'll tell you I've done them, and some I haven't necessarily or directly through content creation, but maybe indirectly, which I'll kind of share those as well. And also I have it set up to where Clubhouse is coming into this live feed. So at the end, or maybe whenever I decide, I will, let some people come up. And I got the, I got a camera set up over on Clubhouse. So I got Cynthia in the audience, and I'm just going to go ahead and share this out to the rest of Clubhouse while we can, really quickly, just to let people know that they can come in and check out the live show here. Well, which I don't even know how. I don't even know what room this is or how I even created the space I've created, but people can hopefully come in and check this out. So anyway, just want to get right into it as I've just blubbing around here. Trying to find out. This is why you can't like multitask, or I can't anyway, and multi-stream on different platforms and try to control different stuff. I get off track. But anyhow, let's jump right into it. So the first thing I want you to think about when you are thinking about monetizing, can I make money at this? The answer is yes. So first of all, you just got to believe in yourself. You got to believe that you can do it. And I'm not going to be sharing any easy, just shake a wand at it and here we go and now you're making money as a content creator. Like, it's all work, it's all uphill, you got to do the suck if you want to get to the gold. So you got to figure that out. If you're not that person, then it's just not going to work for you, right? I can tell you any way to make money, and if you just don't do the work, it's just not gonna work out for you. So we'll start with We'll start with some of my favorite things, and I think what is some low-hanging fruit, if you will. Some of the easiest ways to get monetized as a content creator, to share your passions, the things you like, the things you love, the things you use, and that is through affiliate marketing. Now you might go, "Oh man, I don't affiliate marketing. Like, come on, give me a break. I hate this conversation already." Just hold on, let me explain. And just reposition it in your mind. And a lot of this stuff, as a small content creator or small audience, content creator, you're going to have to reposition some things in your mind and reframe it in your mind to be able to go and monetize early with a small audience. So a lot of this stuff, I'm going to say it, you've heard it, you've read it on the internet, you've read it on Google, you've read that you have to have 10,000 X to 10,000 this, 10,000 that. But I'm going to help you reposition this so you can start to make money within days, probably even a couple of months, days, as a content creator. So the first thing here is affiliate marketing. We all have products that we love, that we use, that we tell people about all the time. So instead of thinking about this as marketing, because I hate marketing as well, even though it's like you got to have marketing or you don't get conversions to anything, whatever, is you just thinking about it as recommendation revenue. This is how I think about every time I say, hey, check out this product or check out that product. If I get on the internet, if I'm on Amazon or whatever, I just think about, I'm going to make recommendations, which I do anyway. So maybe there's an opportunity for me to get compensated for doing so. So if you're doing this on your Facebook page, if you're doing this on Clubhouse, if you're doing this on Instagram, if you're doing this on YouTube, be sure that you're signed up with some of these platforms to do affiliate marketing. You'll be surprised how much it adds up. Now, some people are going to go, well, I'll only make pennies for every product that I put out there. If somebody buys, makes a qualified purchase. So let's just put this into perspective though. For software, so I use a software called Ecamm Live. It's a live Mac only software. I love it. I talk about it all the time. I'm signed up as an affiliate. People say, hey, how can I sign up for that? I go, cool. I'm going to send you an affiliate link. I get paid a commission off of it. And I don't remember exactly what it is, but I think it's like 30% commission off of this affiliate link. That only work it did was I shared it. That's it. That's all I did. So think about the software that you use, the products that you use. So there's software that you probably use and love every single day. Go see if they have an affiliate link. Go to the bottom of the page, see if they have an affiliate program, fill it out, fill out the information, and voila. Now all you have to do is share the thing. They're taking care of all the company or the product, the customer service, all that crap. You don't take care of anything. You literally just say, I love this product. Here it is. So Canva, I know Canva has an affiliate program. Amazon has an affiliate program. I make a lot of money off of Amazon affiliate program. I'll get into it in a little bit, but I'm having a lot of fun over there. It's a little bit different because I'm inside of their the second level of affiliate program with those guys, with Amazon Creator Program and Amazon Live Influencer. And there's Amazon Associates. So all these millions of products, every time that UPS or USPS guy comes to your door and drops off a package, you could literally grab that box, go inside, create a 2-3 minute walkthrough video, unboxing video, whatever, post it on your TikTok, your YouTube, your Instagram, and become a part of their associates program. Link it in the description. Now, there's a couple, terms of service and all that. It's not as easy as just like, oh, I'm going to do this and post a link. You got to follow the rules, but that's up to you to read them and understand them. but it's that easy. You don't have to be an Amazon influencer with access to go live on Amazon and post photos and videos and all this stuff. You could literally start doing this today as a podcaster. You know, every YouTube channel that I watch and love that's successful, I see a list of affiliate links right there in their videos saying this is the gear I use. They didn't talk about it in every show. They didn't talk about it in every video, but they're posting those products that they love and that they use every single day to create their content, and they're posting that in there. So imagine doing this hundreds of times. Every time you post a video, every time you create content, you put it in your link tree and you put these different affiliate programs and different affiliate links. I was actually watching a YouTuber earlier today who is really well known in the tech space, and I think he said they're signed up for like over 600 affiliate programs or something crazy like that. It was like in the hundreds. And I think it was 600 if I'm not mistaken. And I was like, how in the world do you keep up with all that stuff? But the thing is, that's what they do. That's a part of their ecosystem when it comes to making money as a content creator. So just because it's called affiliate marketing, think about it as recommendation revenue. I'm going to recommend this anyway. I see my friend Michael Sterling of Sterling Clear Audio in the audience over here on Clubhouse. This guy recommends of these products, and then every time, hey, I recommend the Shure MV7 or whatever, and here's the link. Here's my resource page on my website. And people can go there, they can click, they can buy, and you can start getting monetized. And it takes no audience at all. I'm literally got 4 people right here in a Clubhouse room. I don't know how many people got watching on YouTube or wherever, but I can literally just start telling people about these products, and then they go buy, they make a purchase. And then the cool thing with the Amazon regular affiliate program, I can't stay on all these each time this long, but I'm pretty excited about this one, is with Amazon, it's a 24-hour little, whatever they call it, little carrot, little pixel or whatever it is. And for 24 hours, if somebody buys, so if I send you a link and you go, yeah, I want that MV7 or whatever, then you buy it. Well, then you go, I need some toilet paper. I need a toothbrush. I need some diapers. I need this, I don't know, I need this $1,000 whatever microwave. And they ship all that stuff. Well, I'll get a commission on the whole bag. Okay, now Amazon Influence Program is a little bit different, but for that associate program, dude, you can stack up. You can stack up the whole kit. You can stack up the whole bag. Now, once again, there's terms of service. You got a document where you're putting stuff and different websites and all that kind of stuff, but just read the terms of service. Sign up. It's easy. This is the easiest money you're ever going to make. It's not the most amount of money, but it adds up, and it adds up quickly, especially when you put out more content, more content, more content. So literally, if I was just starting over today as a content creator and I go, I want to start a YouTube channel simply just to make money, or any other kind of channel, I would literally just sign up for an affiliate program and talk about the products around my house. I would do the same exact thing that people like me, Amazon influencers, people like Cheryl in the Clubhouse audience have, and I would just do that on my own and push people right to Amazon that way. So once again, if you're joining me anywhere on any of these platforms, I'm just talking about 10 plus ways to monetize as a small audience, a small growing creator. If you're over here in Clubhouse, do me a favor, hit that share button if you don't mind. Say hello in the chat, and we'll kind of keep going. Now, the next thing is going to be ad revenue. So this is advertising revenue. If you're a podcaster, maybe you're a live streamer, there's some programs that you can just go sign up for, and they'll kind of like do the bartering for you and brokering for you, and they'll just drop ads in your content. So if you have a large enough audience or enough watch time or whatever on YouTube, you can do like the AdSense program. If you're a podcaster, a lot of these companies will have kind of a button you just turn on, and they will start delivering ads to your content, and you'll get paid on that. Not my favorite way, however, it is a way. It is one of the 10 ways. Now, the next thing here is the way I've made probably the most amount of money as a content creator. Well, it's getting close. Affiliate marketing is getting up there, but the next way is leading the way still, I guess, like over the last 3 years, and that is sponsorship deals. Now, you might go, well, no one's going to look at my podcast because I have a small audience. And that's why I'm doing this whole show, is because I want you to realize that's not the size of the audience, but it's the quality of the audience. And I could preach on this for days and days and days, but sponsorship deals is a sales gig, and it's reframing the sales pitch. And especially in podcasting, and if you have evergreen content. Now, this is not going to work for everybody, but I'm going to give away the secret right here. When you have evergreen content, then I want you to think about that advertising as a forever ad. So this is the difference in traditional advertising versus what I would call like a sponsor sponsoring a show and advertising on your show, is if they go out and spend $800, $1,000, $1,200, $1,500 on a billboard, well, that billboard has a shelf life. That Facebook ad, Instagram ad, YouTube ad, all that stuff has a shelf life. It's going to go away. Any of these mediums, any of these advertising, marketing mediums, they all have a shelf life, and they're all going to go away. But when somebody sponsors my show, what I do as part of the value add is to say, look, you're going to pay me one time. I'm going to leave it in here for the lifetime of the show. And traditionally, how podcast people who find podcasts, podcast listeners, there we go, I'll get it out in a second, they'll go back and they'll listen to all these different episodes. So guess what? You're going to pay me one time, but I'm going to leave it in there forever, and it's going to have a lifetime ad for a one-time ad spend. Now, if that's not valuable, I have no idea what it is. Tell me what any other platform you're going to pay one time and you get a lifetime ad spend. And they'll be like, well, I don't know. And some people will go, well, that's not effective long-term. I've had a fishing show for 3 years, and I can go back to every single episode, 140 episodes. They've all been downloaded every single month that they've been on the internet. And so that is the power of producing this type of content. So if it's a YouTube channel, a podcast, any of those places where it's going to be on there forever, then I am always of the mindset of, hey, I'm charging you one time for this lifetime ad spend, and this is a way to do it. Now, another thing about sponsorships, I'm not going to get into it. I do a whole workshop on this occasionally. So if that's something that people want, they can let me know. Maybe I'll put one together. But another thing is I really match the sponsor to the audience. Now, in podcast world, I'm like a niche podcaster. Like I think that's the fastest way to grow an audience. I think it's the fastest way to get sponsors. I think it's the easiest way to get sponsors. And we were able to do this with 400 total downloads because we knew our target audience. We knew who we wanted to talk to. And so we provided and pitched a quality audience over a quantity audience. So I said, I know this audience isn't huge, but we're building this community, and here's the 5 reasons why we think that you are a great fit for our community and vice versa. And we made it all about the sponsor. So it's not always about numbers. And if you think about numbers all the time and that's all your whole world is, then maybe you need to reevaluate why you're creating content. But if you think about people and think about, okay, if 100 people walked into my office right now, if 10 people walked in my office, if 15 people walked into my office, if the 5-6 people here on Clubhouse walked into this studio space right here and sat down and said, hey, Billy, tell us about making money on our podcast, I'd be like, holy cow, there's a bunch of people in my office. So think about that. And then when you're pitching that to your potential sponsors, if it's a local sponsor, local store, hey, I know I don't have 100 people, but what if 3 or 4 or 5 people, those 100 people, were coming to your store and buy something? Is that worth it? Is that valuable for the price that we're asking for? And if they track their sales, they're going to be yes. And, for instance, we worked with a boat dealer. They sold a boat right off the bat. Hey, how'd you hear about us? Oh, the podcast. Oh, cool. Guess what? They're in forever. They locked in with us. They are in with us for this year, even though I'm not going to be a part of the project, but they're going to be in this year. And they love what we do. We love what they do. And we just match those two worlds perfectly together. And it's been a partnership rather than just a sponsorship. All right, now I'm moving on. I said I'm only on number 3. My goodness, I got a bunch left. But thanks for joining me. Thanks for hanging out. And the next one up here is consulting. Now, I've done this a little bit. I'm not an expert at consulting. I'm probably it's something I want to move into more of creating content for your business type of consulting. Now, one-on-one consulting and doing all that kind of stuff for like individual creators wasn't really for me, but for you, you might have a past in something that's really awesome, or your podcast is about something that's, like building a real estate company or whatever, and you might be really good at it, and it might be a part of the content that you create already, and so you have this audience who wants to learn what you do, and so try to put together a consulting package, help them build what you've already built, kind of doing those things like that. So I'm not going to get too much into consulting because once again, I've done it some. I've not done it a ton, but the people I have done it with, they do get some really good results. And just remember with any of this stuff and all of this stuff, you don't have to be the number one person. You don't have to be the top dog, knowledge, brainiac in any of these subjects. You just have to know more than the person that you're helping knows. And you'll be surprised, and I'm surprised all the time when people start asking me questions about live streaming, podcasting, Amazon Live. I'm like, wow, man, okay, I do know a little something. Like I've spent a lot of time trying to figure out this thing, trying to make this thing work. So, I'm surprised myself sometimes, and I bet you would be too, because we're in it all the time. We're right there, like it's right here in our face, and we don't really, we don't really notice all the movement that's happening and all the action that we're taking and all the things that we're learning and all the things that we know. But when we get focused and organized and start to put that from our brain onto paper, it's like, oh, wow, this is really valuable, especially to the person who's just getting started, who knows nothing. It's like a gold mine for them. So let's keep moving here. The next thing, and I spent about 10 years-ish in this part I'll talk about real quick, is merchandise. So your own merchandise, maybe for your show. And I'm going to tread lightly because I don't want to offend anybody. But I would not just take my podcast name or my podcast logo and throw it on a shirt and try to sell it. I would really dig into what is the thing that connects me to my audience, and then I would put the whole thing, if I was going to do a t-shirt, just for instance, a t-shirt or a sticker or hat or hoodie or any of that kind of stuff, but we'll say a t-shirt. If I was going to run this down and get my audience convinced to buy a t-shirt, I want to make them a part of the t-shirt creation process. So what I would do is say, hey audience, wherever you meet with these people, now you gotta have a place to hang out. So if it's a Facebook group, if it's email, whatever, if they're on your email list, send out a quick email. Hey guys, I'm thinking about creating a t-shirt. Would that be something you're interested in? Let me know. Here's a poll. Go take this little Google poll or whatever. So they take it and they say yes. There's 50 people that say yes or whatever. Go, okay, awesome. Well, I want your help. So here's what I'm thinking. I'm gonna do this shirt. I'm gonna do a black shirt and a white shirt and see what you think about this saying. So maybe you've said something funny on the show. Maybe it's something that your nickname or they call you, something that connects you. That's not just Billy Thorpe's podcast. Okay. So maybe I say, okay, like this mug, for instance, for the people listening, you can't see it, but it says throw mud, see what sticks. I literally just ordered this mug for myself because one of my friends and mentors, business mentors, told me this, said, Billy, just throw mud, see what sticks. Throw mud on the wall, see what sticks. So I say this all the time, and I thought, oh, that's cool. I'm going to put that on a mug. So I could easily offer this to my community and say, look, guys, I say this all the time. You say it back to me. People repeat it to me all the time. So I created it. I'm going to put it on a mug. If you would like it, let me know. And then, once again, I could go and say, okay, I got this on a black mug with white letters, or I'm thinking about a white mug with black letters. Which one would you like? Oh, we like this one, or we like that one. And let them kind of vote through the whole entire process because they're buying in every step of the way. But if you just jump on the internet one day and go, hey guys, I got this shirt, it's got my face on it, you want to buy it? And then nobody buys it, and then you're upset about it. So another thing when you're selling apparel, think about a pre-sale. In a lot of these products, think about a pre-sale. So pre-sell the crap out of a t-shirt. Listen, you can go to WePrintEverything.com or whatever it is, and they'll print everything. They'll put your logo on a toothbrush or whatever, on a hat, on a Band-Aid or whatever it is, millions of products. But just because you can doesn't mean you should. One, I don't recommend any more than 3 products at a time because it's just overwhelm. It's overwhelm of decision making. What should I get? What should I buy? Should I get the hat? Should I get the hoodie? Should I get the shirt? Should I get the mouse pad? Should I get the mug? It's too many decisions, all right? Give your audience a few decisions and move on. However, if it were me, I would start out with one product. I would go through the whole design process that I just said. I would get my audience involved. And then what I would do is take that finalized design, concept, or whatever. I would take it to a print company and say, look, I'm looking to get this. Can I get the minimum order quantity priced, and they go, yeah, it's $10 a shirt or whatever. Just say it's $10. Cool. How many do I need to sell? You need to sell 24 or 36 or 48 or whatever, or 72 or whatever their minimum is. Okay, cool. Go back to your audience, have a buy link on your website with the picture. Hey guys, remember that t-shirt we talked about a couple weeks ago? Awesome. Well, here is the deal. This thing is $24 or whatever, and I got to sell 24 of them or we can't order any. And then they go, cool, and they go buy it. Now, this might sound like a lot of work, and it is, but you're going to make a lot more money. The margins when you buy a shirt in bulk from a local printer versus when you buy a shirt from a print now, drop ship now, whatever, you're going to get way better margins on it. And also, in my opinion, you're going to get a way better product. But I won't get into it. And you got to deal with customer service either way on either side of the coin, so it doesn't really matter. So it's going to be nice if you see the product, you can catch some of that stuff before it hits the market, before you send out, before your direct to printing company sends out 50 products that are printed in the middle and not on the left chest. You can deal with all that stuff on the front end. Okay, so anyway, so there is merchandise. So we talked about affiliate marketing, ad revenue, sponsorship deals, consulting, merchandise, products. So maybe there's some other products that you have that's not merch, not hats. We could talk about that. And so, sorry, Clubhouse distracted me. It's a little flashing red there. So there's other products that you could do. And so we could talk about that, but I won't get into it. This thing is stuff outside of t-shirts and hats and hoodies and all that. All right,
Billy, can I ask a question?
Taking a drink. Yeah, man, go ahead, CPR guy. What's up?
Hey, what's up, Billy? It's Alex. You've told me this before, so please forgive me for asking the same question again and again. I'm an Amazon affiliate, and they're going to shut me down because I don't get sales. I get nominal sales, and I know you have said that you didn't do well with the Amazon affiliate until you became an influencer and started doing what you were doing. Does Amazon frown upon trying to promote those items, whether it's on TikTok, on Instagram, on whatever, Facebook? Do they frown upon just trying to get people to go to your website? Because I'm trying to get some traffic to it so I can become an influencer, so I can do what you're, similar to what you're doing. But if you already talked about it, I'm sorry, but
no, you're fine. No, man. So I don't know exactly all the parameters when it comes to the Amazon Associates program. Like, I'm more involved in the influencer program, so I'm not like 100% sure, to be honest with you. I do know that anywhere that you promote any of those products, you got to have it listed in your associates program. So there's a part in the settings that you can go, and you got to tell them where you're going to promote these links at, and you got to keep them there, right? So you can't just spam the internet all over the place. And they got to know about it. So yeah. So as long as you're doing that, man, you can push it, promote it, get people to your website, get people to check out. I mean, they want you to do that. That's part of being affiliates. Like, hey, I'm going to sell as much as I can, when I can, where I can. So definitely. Man, I appreciate you jumping up. Feel free to stay up. I thought I had a room, but I guess I'm doing a lounge on Clubhouse. I don't know. I just switched this thing from a club to something else, so I'm not 100% sure. And then we got my friend Nee jumping over. He says, what camera are you using? Nee, I'm using the Sony ZV-1. So I got a couple of them. I got one in front of me, one to the side. Actually got one up here, and one sitting around. I've been messing with the lighting and everything today. Got a different monitor set up, so I honestly don't even know what the picture looks like on mobile or anything else. So this is my my second live stream this way. But anyhow, let me jump back over and continue on here as we talk about the next thing. So we got a few more things, and I'll try to blitz through these. This isn't really a walkthrough of each one of these. It's just to get your interest sparked. And a lot of this stuff you've probably already heard about. Maybe some of it you're already doing. But sometimes when I'm listening to people talk about monetization techniques or strategies, I go, oh yeah, I forgot all about that. Or maybe it's something I've done or tried, it didn't work out, but now I'm better positioned to do it again. And it just kind of, gives me a little like jar, like, okay, now I remember. So the next thing here, and this is maybe a little bit more, I would pre-sell this too, is courses. So online courses. Now this is kind of maybe like consulting, but a course is something that you can build once and you can sell it over and over and over. Now I've done this to some degree. I don't really have anything living out there permanently. I've done more of like small workshops, super quick, 1 to 2 hour kind of power hour things where I would bring people in and teach them about sponsorship deals. But I've often thought about doing kind of what, I call like a long form course or something that I could put out there, have it live on a membership website or something, and go through that process. So that might be something you look into. I'm not an expert in it, but I've had a little bit of success, selling digital goods versus physical goods. And I did interview a guy one time on an entrepreneur podcast I hosted, and he told me, like, dude, you got to get out of this merch space. You got to get out of this physical goods space. It's too much headache, and you got to get it into digital goods only. And he said he crushed it at digital goods. So that is one thing, that if you're looking at to just try and think about how can I create something digitally, because we're doing it anyway. We're doing video, audio. So how can I use those same skill sets and create something like a course or whatever. And there's also there's helloaudio.fm. So you can, if you don't want to do video, you can just do audio. So the next thing here I got lined up, and this is one thing that we made a decent amount of money on before we started our membership at our fishing show, was donations. So we would basically have a buy me a coffee. So we just went to, I think it's buymeacoffee.com. We set up a profile over there, and every episode we'd say, hey, if you like the show, consider supporting us as content creators. Go buy us a coffee. And it wasn't, hey, sign up for a membership, or hey, give us $20 every month for anything. It was literally, if you like us, buy us a cup of Joe, and it'll help us power through, some of these episodes and get this stuff done, get it knocked out, show your appreciation for the show. And it's more of this value for value transaction, not just, oh, hey, we're, whatever, like go do our Patreon or something, and here's 10 different tiers you can pick from. It was a really simple ask, and people surprised us, man. We were surprised at how many people were just, donating to us and buying us a cup of coffee and all that kind of stuff. So that's a really easy one. That and affiliate marketing, in my opinion, are the two easiest things that you can do. And I would literally, on my content, say, hey, if you enjoy this content, I have been brainstorming some ways to monetize it. And one of those ways is value for value trade. Like, I give you value on the show, and you can give me value by buying me a cup of coffee or something like that. I mean, maybe you could come up with a better pitch, but I've heard people on podcast literally talk about this value for value. And buy me a coffee is a super easy ask, and it's really easy to understand. The next thing here is memberships. Now, we did a membership group, and I don't even know that I would technically call it a membership. It's more like additional content. So we have a fishing show every week, and basically we're talking about fishing on the coast of North Carolina, and then we're trying to brainstorm, like, okay, what is another show that's not like the show we currently do, but that's more valuable, so to speak, than the show that we currently do, that we could charge, a Netflix style fee for people to give access to every single week. So what we did, was created a fishing reports podcast. So every week we would ring up 10, 11 guides that guide fishing guides up and down the North Carolina coast. We'd get them on the phone or whatever for 5 minutes, or on eCam, bring them in, and they would give us a 5-minute fishing report. And we did this 11 times. And then that was it. And then we put that out every Thursday as additional content. And so that additional content, how we built this membership, was pretty interesting. First of all, we're like, man, if we can get 25 people to pre-sell, I keep saying that. So if you're going to sell a product or whatever, I keep saying pre-sell. We were like, if we can pre-sell 25 seats to this thing, we're in. Like, this is gonna be great. We're gonna go for it. We're gonna commit to 1 year, and we're gonna see what happens with it. And to our surprise, we had over 130 something people sign up for the first time. And what we did was we did a charter membership group, and that was basically, excuse me, that was basically a group that was, said, hey, if you buy into this early, we're going to give you a discount. And so we did that. And so we had, I think it was like 130 something people signed up for that. And then over the last, year, after we did that promotion, I think we're almost close to like 300 people in that membership group right now. Also got my friend Marco Mena down in Puerto Rico, down in Isabela, Puerto Rico. If you guys need an Airbnb, that guy is the man. Him and Yvette are really good friends of ours. We had the pleasure of living in their Airbnb for over a year, or right under a year, I should say. Super great people. Love those guys. So if you're looking for Airbnb in Puerto Rico, and it's so much fun. It's right on the main street. So much noise. You hear this, Marco? That's right. You don't hear anything. There's no noise. Anyhow, so he said he's going to buy me a coffee. No, he's going to give me a free place to stay, baby. We're coming to Puerto Rico. Anyway, all right. I want to get back to it. A couple last things here. Public speaking opportunities. Now, I've not gotten paid to publicly speak about podcasting or content creation, but in my past life, I'll call it, I did get compensated to speak at a couple of events, which was pretty cool. So that is a thing. If you are, using your podcast to teach or whatever, about a particular topic that you're an expert in, maybe you can leverage that podcast and say, hey, I publicly speak every single week. I have an audience that I speak to every single week. I do clubhouse rooms. I do this, I do that. And go apply. You wouldn't believe, and I didn't believe this, I thought that people got invited to speak at events. I just thought that was how it worked. I thought, I'm never on the roster to speak at an event. I never get invited. And I'm in clubhouse rooms with people who run these events. How come I never get invited to speak at an event? Well, little did I know, most events you go and apply to speak at. I didn't even know that. I thought it was like invite only. And so what you could do is in your niche, in your market, go find those websites of those conferences or whatever, and probably there's going to be a link that says apply to become a speaker. And who knows, you might get paid or might not get paid, or you might have to go do them for free for the first ones or whatever. I don't know, but it's exposure. And then, while you're there, while you're speaking, make sure you have product, merch, a book, something that a membership, something that you can get people to sign up for while you're there. So maybe you directly get paid to speak. Maybe you indirectly get paid through other stuff that you offer, which leads me to my next thing is services. My friend Michael was in the room, in Clubhouse room earlier. He does audio consulting. So that's a service. I think he does some editing stuff. So that's a service. So maybe you're really good at podcast editing. Maybe you really like it. Or maybe you're a really good video editor or Reels editor or a TikTok editor or whatever. And that's a service. So you can do that. So you can go and, charge people, jump on Clubhouse and say, hey, I edit shows or whatever. Let me tell you how to edit. And then you just overwhelm people with the process of editing, which I hate and will never do. And then you go, if you don't want to do all that, just call me. I'll do it for you. And so there you go. You can sell your services. So last thing here is brand deals. I do a lot of brand deals with this new opportunity over on Amazon. And this is a different one. I'm still navigating it, but I've set these up in so many different ways. One is just send me the product and I get paid to do a video. Another one is send me a product. I don't get paid up front to do the video, but I get paid, an additional commission on top of affiliate commission. I've done those kind of brand deals. I've done the kind of deals where it's like, hey, promote this product a certain amount of times per month, and we're going to pay you X amount of dollars. So there's a lot of different opportunities to work directly with brands, and maybe that's apparel brands or product brands, manufacturing companies, whatever that looks like. So a lot of opportunities to go out there and work with brand deals and provide them with something. Maybe that's exposure. Maybe that's using your your qualified audience to promote the product, service, or whatever that they're offering, and work out those types of brand deals. So hopefully this helps you guys as you are, thinking about content creation and what you're doing. And so Lisa, what's going on? It's good to see you. She says, great topic for a room. So appreciate that. So hopefully this helps as you're brainstorming, how do I make money at content creation? How do I make money? I don't have a huge audience. And once again, I do not have a huge audience. I've not had a huge audience ever, yet I've been able to create income, multiple streams of revenue, for what we're doing in the content that we're creating. So if you're looking to do that, then test these things out. Throw mud and see what sticks. There's a lot of opportunity out there, a lot of different programs for your skill set. For, if you're doing what I'm doing, you're doing live streaming, there's opportunity for live streamers. There's opportunity for UGC content creators. There's opportunity for podcasters and TikTokers and YouTubers and IG people and all that stuff. Every single category has a lot of opportunities. But if you're just sitting waiting for somebody to call you, it ain't gonna happen. All right. So make calls, network, put yourself out there, create content, even if you're not getting paid for it, because that becomes your digital resume. I work with a company, this company right here, Shure Microphones, Shure Audio, probably one of the biggest audio companies on the planet. I was actually told by a person in the audio industry, I said, I would love to work with Shure one day. This would be a dream company to work with because I love their products. And they said, dude, you're never going to work with them. You're never going to have an audience big enough. You're never going to qualify to work with a company that big. Look at me now. That was like probably a year and a half ago that person said that. Here we go. I'm working with Shure on a couple of different projects. And it's been a ton of fun. And I did that. I got this opportunity by networking, by serving other people, by helping other people build their community, by helping other people answer questions in their community, and networking and supporting and doing all those things. So all of this stuff is possible, but you have to show up. And I just want to remind you of that. You got to show up. You got to do the work. You got to do the hard stuff, and you got to believe that it can happen for you. And if you do those things, I think you'll be successful. And once again, success doesn't mean you make $1 million a year. In my opinion, success just means I'm happy. I'm creating content. This is super fun for me. And so if that's you, then great. Go out there and figure out a goal, figure out what you want to make, figure out how you want to monetize, what number you want to monetize to, and start implementing one thing at a time. So if that's affiliate marketing or if that's donations, buy me a coffee, start one of those. Figure that out, and then look to the next thing and figure that out, and then look to the next thing, and you get it. And just keep stacking those different revenue streams up there. That way, if one of them dies out or program changes or whatever, you're not just sunk. You're still afloat, and you can still make moves and reposition and replace that stream of revenue. So hopefully that helps. Once again, this is Billy over here creating daily. If you're watching on YouTube, hit that subscribe button or follow me wherever, whatever all those little call to actions are. Let's hang out. Let's network. Let's be friends. Let's be internet friends. All right. We'll see you soon. What is going on, everyone? Welcome back to Creating Daily. I'm Billy Thorpe, and so far it looks like I've been creating daily on this podcast. Today we're going to be talking about 10 plus ways to monetize as a content creator. Now, I am multi-streaming this to Clubhouse, to YouTube, to Facebook, to LinkedIn, so be sure to say hello in the comments. Except if you're at LinkedIn, maybe come over to Facebook or Clubhouse because I can't get comments for whatever reason. But I'm really excited about today's episode to share with you how you can monetize as a small audience content creator or a growing content creator or a growing audience. When I first started podcasting, I was looking up, how do I make money at this? And every time I would look it up, people were like, you're going to have 10,000 downloads per episode. You have 10,000 followers. You have 10,000 subscribers. You're going to have 10,000 insert metric to be able to make any money as a content creator. And I can proudly say I've been content creating full time for about 3 years, and I don't even have 10,000 anything on any platform. Maybe on Clubhouse. I have close to 10,000. But that is a way different animal than Instagram or TikTok or YouTube or Facebook or any of those other places. And I'm able to make a full-time income by helping other content creators, by doing membership groups, by doing all kinds of different stuff. So I've been able to do that successfully over the last couple of years. So I wanted to just jump in and kind of share how I've been able to do that. And some of these are that I'm going to share, like I say, 10 plus ways. Some I've done, which I'll tell you I've done them, and some I haven't necessarily or directly through content creation, but maybe indirectly, which I'll kind of share those as well. And also I have it set up to where Clubhouse is coming into this live feed. So at the end, or maybe whenever I decide, I will, let some people come up. And I got the, I got a camera set up over on Clubhouse. So I got Cynthia in the audience, and I'm just going to go ahead and share this out to the rest of Clubhouse while we can, really quickly, just to let people know that they can come in and check out the live show here. Well, which I don't even know how. I don't even know what room this is or how I even created the space I've created. But people can hopefully come in and check this out. So anyway, just want to get right into it as I've just blubbing around here. Trying to find out. This is why you can't like multitask, or I can't anyway, and multi-stream on different platforms and try to control different stuff. I get off track. But anyhow, let's jump right into it. So the first thing I want you to think about when you are thinking about monetizing, can I make money at this? The answer is yes. So first of all, you just got to believe in yourself. You got to believe that you can do it. And I'm not going to be sharing any easy, just shake a wand at it and here we go, and now you're making money as a content creator. Like, it's all work, it's all uphill, you got to do the suck if you want to get to the gold. So you got to figure that out. If you're not that person, then it's just not going to work for you, right? I could tell you any way to make money, and if you just don't do the work, it's just not gonna work out for you. So we'll start with We'll start with some of my favorite things, and I think what is some low-hanging fruit, if you will. Some of the easiest ways to get monetized as a content creator, to share your passions, the things you like, the things you love, the things you use, and that is through affiliate marketing. Now you might go, "Oh man, I don't affiliate marketing. Like, come on, give me a break. I hate this conversation already." Just hold on, let me explain. And just reposition it in your mind. And a lot of this stuff, as a small content creator or small audience, content creator, you're going to have to reposition some things in your mind and reframe it in your mind to be able to go and monetize early with a small audience. So a lot of this stuff, I'm going to say it, you've heard it, you've read it on the internet, you've read it on Google, you've read that you have to have 10,000 X to 10,000 this, 10,000 that. But I'm going to help you reposition this so you can start to make money within days, probably even a couple of months, days, as a content creator. So the first thing here is affiliate marketing. We all have products that we love, that we use, that we tell people about all the time. So instead of thinking about this as marketing, because I hate marketing as well, even though it's like you got to have marketing or you don't get conversions to anything, whatever, is you just think about it as recommendation revenue. This is how I think about every time I say, hey, check out this product or check out that product. If I get on the internet, if I'm on Amazon or whatever, I just think about, I'm going to make recommendations, which I do anyway. So maybe there's an opportunity for me to get compensated for doing so. So if you're doing this on your Facebook page, if you're doing this on Clubhouse, if you're doing this on Instagram, if you're doing this on YouTube, be sure that you're signed up with some of these platforms to do affiliate marketing. You'll be surprised how much it adds up. Now, some people are going to go, well, I'll only make pennies for every product that I put out there. If somebody buys, makes a qualified purchase. So let's just put this into perspective though. For software, so I use a software called Ecamm Live. It's a live Mac only software. I love it. I talk about it all the time. I'm signed up as an affiliate. people say, hey, how can I sign up for that? I go, cool, I'm going to send you an affiliate link. I get paid a commission off of it. And I don't remember exactly what it is, but I think it's like 30% commission off of this affiliate link. That only work it did was I shared it. That's it. That's all I did. So think about the software that you use, the products that you use. So there's software that you probably use and love every single day. Go see if they have an affiliate link. Go to the bottom of the page, see if they have an affiliate program, fill it out, fill out the information, and voila. Now all you have to do is share the thing. They're taking care of all the company or the product, the customer service, all that crap. You don't take care of anything. You literally just say, I love this product. Here it is. So Canva, I know Canva has an affiliate program. Amazon has an affiliate program. I make a lot of money off of Amazon affiliate program. I'll get into it in a little bit, but I'm having a lot of fun over there. It's a little bit different because I'm inside of their like the second level of affiliate program with those guys, with Amazon Creator Program and Amazon Live Influencer. And there's Amazon Associates. So all these millions of products, every time that UPS or USPS guy comes to your door and drops off a package, you could literally grab that box, go inside, create a 2-3 minute walkthrough video, unboxing video, whatever, post it on your TikTok, your YouTube, your Instagram, and become a part of their associates program. Link it in the description. Now, there's a couple, terms of service and all that. It's not as easy as just like, oh, I'm going to do this and post a link. You got to follow the rules, but that's up to you to read them and understand them. But it's that easy. You don't have to be an Amazon influencer with access to go live on Amazon and post photos and videos and all this stuff. You could literally start doing this today as a podcaster. Every YouTube channel that I watch and love that's successful, I see a list of affiliate links right there in their videos saying this is the gear I use. They didn't talk about it in every show. They didn't talk about it in every video, but they're posting those products that they love and that they use every single day to create their content, and they're posting that in there. So imagine doing this hundreds of times. Every time you post a video, every time you create content, you put it in your link tree and you put these different affiliate programs and different affiliate links. I was actually watching a YouTuber earlier today who is really well known in the tech space, and I think he said they're signed up for like over 600 affiliate programs or something crazy like that. It was like in the hundreds. And I think it was 600 if I'm not mistaken. And I was like, how in the world do you keep up with all that stuff? But the thing is, that's what they do. That's a part of their ecosystem when it comes to making money as a content creator. So just because it's called affiliate marketing, think about it as recommendation revenue. I'm going to recommend this anyway. I see my friend Michael Sterling of Sterling Clear Audio in the audience over here on Clubhouse. This guy recommends more audio products than anybody I know. So he needs an affiliate program. He probably has one already, but if you're not, go sign up for these affiliate programs of these products. And then every time, hey, I recommend the Shure MV7 or whatever. And here's the link. Here's my resource page on my website. And people can go there, they can click, they can buy, and you can start getting monetized. And it takes no audience at all. I'm literally got 4 people right here in a Clubhouse room. I don't know how many people got watching on YouTube or wherever, but I can literally just start telling people about these products, and then they go buy, they make a purchase. And then the cool thing with the Amazon regular affiliate program, I can't stay on all these each time this long, but I'm pretty excited about this one, is with Amazon, it's a 24-hour little, whatever they call it, little carrot, little pixel or whatever it is. And for 24 hours, if somebody buys, so if I send you a link and you go, yeah, I want that MV7 or whatever, then you buy it. Well, then you go, I need some toilet paper. I need a toothbrush. I need some diapers. I need this, I don't know, I need this $1,000 whatever microwave. And they ship all that stuff. Well, I'll get a commission on the whole bag. Okay, now Amazon Influence Program is a little bit different, but for that associate program, dude, you can stack up. You can stack up the whole kit. You can stack up the whole bag. Now, once again, there's terms of service. You got a document where you're putting stuff and different websites and all that kind of stuff, but just read the terms of service. Sign up. It's easy. This is the easiest money you're ever going to make. It's not the most amount of money, but it adds up, and it adds up quickly, especially when you put out more content. So literally, if I was just starting over today as a content creator and I go, I want to start a YouTube channel simply just to make money, or any other kind of channel, I would literally just sign up for an affiliate program and talk about the products around my house. I would do the same exact thing that people like me, Amazon influencers, people like Cheryl in the Clubhouse audience have, and I would just do that on my own and push people right to Amazon that way. So once again, if you're joining me anywhere on any of these platforms, I'm just talking about 10 plus ways to monetize as a small audience, a small growing creator. If you're over here in Clubhouse, do me a favor, hit that share button. If you don't mind, say hello in the chat, and we'll kind of keep going. Now, the next thing is going to be ad revenue. So this is advertising revenue. If you're a podcaster, maybe you're a live streamer, there's some programs that you can just go sign up for, and they'll kind of like do the bartering for you and brokering for you, and they'll just drop ads in your content. So if you have a large enough audience or enough watch time or whatever on YouTube, you can do like the AdSense program. If you're a podcaster, a lot of these companies will have kind of a button you just turn on, and they will start delivering ads to your content, and you'll get paid on. All right, I had to jump on and check this out. Some night vision goggles. Why is this audio so low? What? Check 1, 2. I don't know why this audio is so stinking low. Yeah, so, dude, okay, now it's back. These audio settings, I'm using the Ecamm beta version, so maybe that's what's up. Anyway, I want to show you guys these night vision goggles. I'm gonna see if they really work. They look cool. Chargeable battery, tripod compatible, long lasting, waterproof. Let's go. Dude, I hate packaging. It's like the worst. Day and night use. I'm gonna have to wait. I want to turn the lights off in here. Look at this. Look at all that. All right. So mess with these night vision goggles. Let's see. These are really, wow. Okay. Wow. Don't need that. You need fingernails for this. There we go. There we go. Oh, let's see. Plus, minus. All right. There we go, baby. Night vision goggles. Let's power these bad boys on. Look at that. Look at that. You guys see that? Ah! Dude, these are sick. How do you adjust them, though? Oh, dude. Okay, I'm impressed. Check that out. See if that's... Look at that. I don't know if you can see the quality of that or not. But it's pretty good quality. I mean, for mode. This is a 4K. Let's see. I don't know what that does. Photo resolution, burst, video. Let's see. photo. Yeah, let's just do this. Okay, so let's go to mode. Hold on. All right, what is this? This is the day 7, 2024, and it is 8:39. All right. Sweet. Wait, so we turn off the lights. I'm gonna go turn off the lights in the other room. Be back. What happens? How do you turn on night vision? Alright, I'm gonna break down and read the instructions. Who does that? Video mode, video resolution, video duration, sun icon for day, moon icon for night photography. Okay. Okay, let's see. After switching to video mode, the night vision goggles will enter the screen as shown. Video mode has 2 settings, day and night. After selecting the desired setting, press the button to start recording. Okay, but how do I select the desired setting? Oh dear friend. Hey, let's go. Wait, is it a double click? It is. All right, so this thing shoots in black and white. Wow, impressive. All right. All right, now let's go shoot the date.
All right, these things are pretty cool. Pretty cool. All right. Oh. Well, that may have helped. Shoot. Didn't notice those. I'm gonna go back out and shoot another round of video here. Yeah, much. This is much more clear without the tape on it. All right, I'm gonna shoot a couple. You shoot some more video. Maybe I should play some music. Huh? Maybe I should play some music here. I'll be back. Where's the old Dillbilly music? Here we go.
on this show in at least a few months, and this is definitely the first one of the year. So welcome, welcome, welcome back to the show. And if you've never seen this show before, this is the show where we highlight the incredible and amazing and outstanding and awesome people behind Ecamm, all of our amazing customers and members who we affectionately call the Ecamm fam. They are doing things that blow my mind on a regular basis. I have had the absolute pleasure of interviewing, I think, almost every industry, from, technology to transportation, education, magicians, musicians, podcasters, YouTubers, absolutely everyone in between. But I don't think that I've had the opportunity to speak in depth with anyone in the Amazon live selling space. Talked a little bit with Stephanie, who does a little bit of it here and there, and a little bit with Kirk, who does a little bit of it here and there, but I'm really excited to information helpful. We'd really love that. All right. Billy's here. Billy, thank you so much for being here. Oh my goodness. I was so excited. I was so excited when I saw you drop I saw like the calendar in my shop. I was like, oh, the Meet the Fam show. Billy found my link and has jumped in. I love that.
Yeah, I know we had swapped some emails about it, and then I was like, yeah, I'm going to come on there and talk about it. But then I was like, man, I just want to get 1 year of Amazon, like a full calendar year under my belt. Because I've been in part of the program for a couple years, focused on shoppable content for like 1.5 years. But I wanted like a whole calendar before I talk to anybody about, like publicly, I guess. I've talked to a bunch of people about it, but publicly, especially on this show, I was like, I got to figure it out first. I got to make sure I know what I'm talking about. So anyway, here we are.
That.
Thanks for having me.
We could have the whole journey now. As people either love or hate that word, but I think it could be a fun approach. Well, we should back up because I would love for you to give. We were joking before we jumped on here that you've been Ecamm fan for a while and you've done like just about everything. So why don't you give us a little bit of a background into who you are and kind of how you got started in this space? I'd love to hear a bit about that.
Yeah, so I'm back all the way up pre-Billy owning a business or any of that, kind of like to my W-2 job days. I actually worked right out of college for a nonprofit, and I did all their video production. We had like a little TV show, and it was more like in-studio stuff. It was before live streaming was cool, or most people could do it. Like you had to have some really smart person build a computer just for that, and then all this stuff, and then hopefully it worked, and it was only to one location, which was your website, if that worked as well. So that's kind of where I got my teeth, like I cut my teeth rather. I didn't get my teeth there, but I cut my teeth in the video production space doing that for a long time, probably 5 or 6 years. And then I loved the person I worked with. He was really, really good on camera. So it was like this. It wasn't necessarily live to tape because we still had to go and edit and all this, but it was the closest thing to like a live production. And then anytime we did do like a live show using those super nerdy computers that I didn't know anything about, I loved it. I was like, dude, the excitement, the exhilaration behind this, you got to be on the switcher, you got to be like really making this thing happen.
Yeah.
I always loved that type of energy. And then I moved from that into the t-shirt printing world for like 8 years and did promotional products. And fast forward to the pandemic, shut all that down because I was working with all those nonprofits, big audiences. Yeah. And from that moment, I kind of used Ecamm to do like a small fishing podcast live show on Facebook. I did like 25 episodes. Yeah. So that was the first one I did. And then during the pandemic, I started another one with another friend of mine. And so, yeah, and I think I go way back with the Ecamm crew because if I'm not mistaken, they created a product called, was it the Skype call
recorder for Skype? Yeah. I always love hearing that. People are like, oh, I use call recorder. Yep, absolutely.
That was some of the first ways that I ever captured like a live interview. Was through that call recorder for that first job that I worked out of college. So I remember finding that. And so when I got into this fishing show, I'm like, dude, I want to do this live stream fishing show live every week on Facebook. Mm-hmm. And I couldn't find the technology. OBS was super complicated. And then I just happened to, come upon Ecamm. And I don't even know what year, maybe 2019. Maybe this is year 5 for me. And well, it was so far back you had to upload your own graphics. There was the interview mode was Skype, like that was the. I remember telling people like, "Here's Skype, log into Skype," and it was all fishermen, so they're like, "What is this? What's a
Oh
Microsoft?"
man, yeah, take me back.
It was terrible.
Trying to explain that to people was so like unnecessarily complicated. There was either it was like, what is Skype, or it was like this blank stares. You could see that they were trying to be like, do I still have a Skype login? Like what? Like there was this moment of panic where it was like, oh no, no, I need my Skype login. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think I ended up just like making a Skype login and sending it to people like, here, log into this
Smart.
account and then call me.
Yeah.
Or
That
something. I don't
actually
know.
smart. I mean, some of that I wish we sort of had back, because even trying to explain some tech sometimes to certain guests, it's maybe having
Yeah.
people call into a specific thing would make sense.
Yeah, so that's kind of how I got started in with Ecamm, and then doing all the live shows through the fishing stuff. And then my second fishing podcast wasn't a live show, but we created it all live to drive, which I don't know who said. Somebody in the Ecamm family said that, and I've adopted it as my own, like
love it.
live to tape, live
Yep.
to drive. And so I've created almost every piece of content since then with that whole mentality and method
Love
of
it.
just like the efficiency of live to drive is
Yeah.
what brings me. I mean, I can't do it without that pressure. Otherwise I'll
Same.
spend editing all day or something.
Yeah.
So yeah, I went from that podcast and was doing that and met my friends Monty Weaver and Chris Giles, who
Yeah.
are also part of Ecamm, and met them over on Clubhouse. And they're like, dude, you love doing sponsorship deals with podcasters or podcast, sponsorship deals or whatever. Cause that's what I was, doing with my podcast, was selling sponsorship packages. And they're like, you're going to love going live on Amazon. You're going to love creating videos on Amazon. And they introduced me to, I think it was a little over 2 years ago, introduced me to the Amazon Influencer Program.
Yeah.
And the rest has just been a lot of testing, a lot of blood, sweat, and tears, and it's been pretty fun. So I think I found the technology and the thing to use the technology on that just fits my personality like a glove, and I can show up every day and do it. So yeah, it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, kind of full circle. I mean, I suppose if you don't count fishing, kind of sitting in the middle of it, but I mean, promotional products and thinking through that approach, I imagine some of that is pretty similar to an approach you would need to be able to sell products through video. So you certainly had a little bit of that background in there. Well,
Yeah,
congrats
and
to
I
your
always
one.
liked the weird, I always liked like the weird, like get a product and test it out and give feedback. And
Yeah.
I've always kind of liked that part of anything. I mean, all this gear, all this tech, like I don't need this, but I love it and it's a lot of fun. So anytime I can touch a product and test it and mess with it and give some thoughts about it, I'm like, okay, I'm in. Whatever. Call me Billy Mays, okay? I'm not Billy Thor, I'm Billy Mays.
We need a new Billy Mays, so you can definitely step up. I think that's awesome. All right, well, we're gonna dive into some of the detailed questions. So if you're hanging out with us here live in the chat, or even later, we can circle back and answer your questions later. But drop those questions in. Doc's claiming credit for Live to Drive, which I'm not surprised. I feel like it's something he would have said. We'll give it to you, Doc. We'll give it to you. If you don't know what that means, just so if you're watching and you're newer to Ecamm and you stumbled across this interview, welcome. Live to tape or live to drive is the concept of recording all of your video content live in front of at least the potential of a what we now are calling a studio audience, the potential of someone stumbling across and being able to see it live as you're recording it, ask questions and interact with you. And I totally agree with you. I think it like at least there's, maybe it's for a certain personality type, but at least for me, it cut through all of my overthinking and my panic and the kind of permission to hit pause and hit stop and to be like, I hated that, or the swearing in the background or whatever it was that stopped me from doing the video. And it, like when I was just recording, it would be days and days of just like recording, starting these clips and being like, oh, that was stupid, and hitting stop, and then starting again, hitting stop, and starting again. You don't have the permission to do that when you're live streaming. So even if your main goal isn't the live audience, forcing yourself to start with live streaming does definitely, I think, help with just getting the content created. And then if you want to edit it, great. Edit it if you want to,
Yeah.
but I think it helps you get all the way through the content that you're trying to create, which is, I think, the most difficult part, really.
Yeah, it kind of reminds me of like, back in the day when you play sports, it's like the game is starting, so there's no turning back now. Like you just have to play,
Exactly.
like whatever that is.
Yeah.
Like if you're doing a concert, if you're a
Mhm.
musician, like whatever it is, like when it's go time, like you're on, and
Yeah.
it's like live or die. You're gonna have there's a story coming out of it. No matter what happens, you're gonna have some kind of a story. Either you're the victor or the victim. I don't know. That's how I kind of feel about live streaming, and I still get that like even before we went live today, I still get like that weird, like,
Yeah.
oh man, I hope this goes well. Like, or I don't know, maybe it's like a disorder in my brain where I love that sense of like, I have no idea what's going to happen right now,
Yeah.
but I hope it turns out good.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's pretty fun. It's weird, but it's fun.
It is. It's weird, but it's fun. I know. It's I mean, I've talked about this tons of times on tons of shows, but I definitely was the person that like totally fine in person, fine on a stage. Like I grew up doing a ton of theater, so I'm like, okay, I'm with being on a stage. But the second that a camera came up, my whole body would just like tense up, and I would like tears would start welling in my eyes. I just had like so much panic around it. And now it's like, now I laugh, now I'm like, my kids now are like, oh mom, are you on a podcast? Oh, are you live streaming? Oh, like we'll leave you. Mom's live streaming. Like don't go upstairs right now. It's just become so kind of commonplace in our home that it's just kind of fun. It's nice to be able to connect with people and lose some of that. Like you want a little bit of that kind of excitement, a little bit of butterflies to kind of energize you, but it's nice not to have as much of that fear anymore as I definitely had, and I'm sure most people do when they're first starting.
Yeah, it is. It's a vulnerable place, so that's for sure. But it does get fun with time, especially after you do kind of eat it a few times, and then you're like, okay, this didn't work out, something didn't work, my mic crashed, my light flicker, like whatever that looks like, and then you think like I'm a big idiot, but then you go watch Doc Rock, and then he's like on mute or something. You're like, yeah, that dude, yeah. Good.
Thanks,
I feel
Doc.
better about myself,
Thanks for making it more comfortable for the rest of us. Yeah, no, it's
Yeah.
totally true.
He probably does it on purpose to make us all feel more comfortable, but it's like it's when you see a legend like that, you're like, okay, it happens to everybody. Here we go.
It
But,
really
yeah,
does.
It's a lot of fun.
It really does. It even happens to like news broadcasters. It's kind of crazy. A good reminder for us all.
True.
All right. Well, I want to congratulate you on an entire year of Amazon. That's exciting. And seriously, like, I mean, it's one of those things where it feels like both easier than it should be and yet more complicated than it should be. I feel like when I think about Amazon, I'm like, okay, like I feel like I'm unilaterally keeping Jeff Bezos in his like giant yacht because I buy everything. Like just boxes come every day to my house. So it's really silly that I haven't jumped into this yet. But at the same time, it does feel like there's a kind of a complicated process. So could you talk through kind of how you got started and what the steps are?
Yeah, so how I got started was once again I was in a Clubhouse room. I was talking about sponsorship deals, and Monty and Chris were like, "You gotta go check out Amazon." And at that time, this was like 2 years ago, maybe a little bit more. They were going live and talking about this stuff on their desk, talking about the production stuff, talking about whatever microphones or whatever that looked like, and people were watching them live and making purchases, and they were making a little bit of commission off of that through the program. And so they got me intrigued, and I went to apply. Now, back then, Amazon would tell you how many followers you needed on whatever account you're applying with. So like whatever social platform.
Yeah.
So in my case, they're like, you need 2,000. Well, I think I had like 800 followers on Instagram. I'm like, I am not an influencer. This is never going to work out.
Yeah.
So I worked my tail off. I mean, literally worked my tail off to get enough to get to 2,000. So I get to 2,000. I go apply again. It says, no, you need 2,500. So I'm like, all right, I'm going to lie.
Come on,
so
Amazon.
I lied and said, yeah, I did. I got 2,500. Cool. And they're like instant approval. And then it went through another approval process. Luckily, I think I had a good enough engaged account of a bunch of podcasters over there at the time that they were like, okay, whatever, we're gonna let you be a liar and skip the line. So luckily, I didn't have to go get another 500 followers. And then I kind of sat on Amazon for a while and didn't really do anything. I did a couple of live streams, didn't really see anything come of it,
Yeah.
and I was focused on my podcast. I'm like, okay, I'm not going to focus on that. And then I started following a guy named Dan Courier, and he was talking about doing shoppable videos, short
Yeah.
form shoppable content. And so I was like, all right, I'm gonna try this. And then I think Monty and Chris were like, yeah, dude, you gotta try it. It's a new thing, whatever. Like, go do whatever. So I recorded like 20 or 30 videos on my desk of just whatever I had in my studio. And all of a sudden, this thing starts generating $350 to $600 a month in revenue. Now,
Wow.
I have a podcast with a listener base of 20,000. I have a YouTube channel that is monetized through their monetization platform. I'm not making money like that off of YouTube. And I'm sitting there like, I have 30 videos up that I recorded a month ago, 2 months ago, 3 months ago, and it's doing all this. Like, this is insane. And so I was living in Puerto Rico, and so I could not get any more products to that island. I didn't want to get any more. I didn't want to try to deal with them or bring them home. And so I just sat on it for 10 months and just watched this thing make money, dip, whatever. And then I told all the guys in the clubhouse room, I said, when I get back home to North Carolina, it's game on. Like, I'm going to go after brand deals. I'm going to give it 90 days and I'm going to figure out, can this thing make money and can this be a business that's, bigger than just the Amazon portion of it.
Yeah.
And so what I did from there is I started to reach out to brands. Now, some of these brands were already in like Facebook groups and, hey, we want, or reps. There's like brands, there's reps, there's agencies or whatever. And so they're all over the place going, we want people to make these product videos. And so I started reaching out to them going, hey, I'm your guy. I can make it. I can make them quick because I got Ecamm. So I just set up a couple scenes and I can turn and burn, these product videos.
Yeah.
And they're like, okay, whatever. So they send me some fingernail clippers and some, like raggedy products. and I take anything. I'm like, I'll take anything.
Yeah.
And I also did it for like cheap, like $5 or $10 a video, which I know every content creator watching this is going to roll their eyes and be like, you're the problem with this industry. But I didn't know what I was doing. So I'm like, I don't even feel like I should be charging you right now because it's too easy to go, these are fingernail clippers. They work. Have a great day. Like whatever.
Ooh,
but
look at the clippers. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And so we were, so I started off one camera, just my Canon EOS RP, which had horrible autofocus, by the way, no matter what lens I used.
Yep.
And so I started off with that camera, just one shot, just like this, just holding up, whatever products, talking about them, covering up my eyes and holding it up so the camera would actually focus on the product and not on my face. And I did hundreds of videos like this for 6 months. And then I started watching all these Ecamm people and doing autofocus with the ZV E10. So now that's what I use for that, which is pretty sick. And then I got an overhead cam, and then I started really working with these brands. And so over time, I started charging more for the videos because I was putting out a ton of videos, but I'm like, I can't scale my business by putting out more content.
Yeah.
So I have to charge more rates, take less product, be very picky about it. And so this has been my strategy from day one, is really a trifecta approach. It's one, to do the brand deal. So they send me the product, they pay me, and then I upload the video to Amazon. People watch it. I make a residual commission off of that. It depends. I mean, there's a lot of question marks there of if it's going to make money, if it's not.
Yeah.
And then the third way is I sell the product. And I actually live sell it on a platform called Whatnot. So it's kind of like eBay meets Twitch, and I use Ecamm and I live sell 100 products an hour over there when I have enough to sell.
Cow.
And so that has been kind of my approach for this entire year in 2023, and it's been amazing. So we did, and not to be like, first of all, this is all relative to me. Like, this is a lot of money for me that we did over 6 figures last year, working 20 to 25 hours a week here in my studio, just working these brand deals and doing all this stuff. To me and my family, like, for the amount of time, I'm like, that's a game changer. Now, some people are going to be like, ugh, that's not enough for us. I'm not doing that. But it's all because of Ecamm. And I say this all the time when people are like, how do you do that? I'm like, Ecamm. It doesn't matter what cameras. It doesn't matter what lights. It's Ecamm, because Ecamm allows me to quickly switch, the video. So however long it takes me to do the video is how long it takes me to do the video. If it takes me 10 minutes, it takes me 10 minutes. But I literally will start a video. Hey guys, today we're going to talk about the Rode Wireless Go 2. I've had this microphone for 2 years. Here's what I like. Here's what I don't like. Here's what I think. Here's the quality of the build. And then I'm just switching between the top shot and the front shot. And that's it. And when I'm done, I trim the ends, upload it. And I've done that 2,418 times or something silly. So in the last year and a half. So yeah, I mean, that's pretty much the whole business structure. And I literally use Ecamm probably like 1% of what it's capable of. Like I'm excited about this big announcement that's happening tomorrow, but I'm like, I'm probably not going to use it. Maybe.
You might.
Maybe.
Yeah, you'll see. Well, so there's a few things that I want to pull out of what you just said. So for everyone listening, the first thing that's really important about what you said is that these brands and brand reps live in a ton of different communities online, including the Ecamm community. There are a ton of brand partners. Doc's been working really hard to bring more and more brands into our space to see what our creators are doing, to just work more closely with us. So, off the top of my head, I could probably name 20 or 30 people that I know either are like pretty high up at brands or are working in as brand reps looking for people to create video content. So, engaging and supporting communities and being part of communities is a really, really smart strategy if that's important to you, and seeing what people like Billy are doing and like what others are doing is helpful, and sharing too what you're doing, obviously in a non-promotional, don't just spam the group with all your videos, but getting involved and working with people and getting to know people in communities, I think is really, really huge. And I think makes a really, really big difference. I love that you've also thought about reselling. So you've created this trifecta. So many of us sit in these spaces where, stuff just like builds up. Like we all joke about how we all have, gear acquisition syndrome. We all have this gas problem, right? But you could be reselling these products, and not just necessarily, to each other in some of the groups that exist where it's like a reselling or like a Facebook marketplace environment. You could join something, like Whatnot, and be able to sell, these products, whether or not you started in the live selling space. You could take just that tail end. And then the third thing I would say is, I think, Billy, it's awesome that you're only using 1% of the software, which I know sounds weird as someone that like markets for the software. But the cool thing about something like Ecamm is that if you figured out what you really want to do with it and double down on that, you don't need the other stuff. You might at some point, and great, it's there for you. So you don't need to be worrying or thinking about what other software you need. But like getting really good at that one part and having it be really successful is a win for us, and it's a win for you. And it's, it has you out there talking about how incredible the software is. Like Marshall's another great example of this, where Marshall like does tons of video projects for us. He totally could not answer a ton of questions about the more detailed nuances of the software, but what he knows and what he's good at, he does like brilliantly with the software. So I think it's important to remember that like it's super easy for the software to feel huge, and what you really need to figure out is what your strategy is for what you're trying to accomplish, and double down on that. Get really good at that, and then if you want to add something else on or take dive deeper into the tools or the tech or what have you, do that. But start with what you need to accomplish. I think it's really important.
Yeah, and I've done shows where I'm using every feature. I'm using the green screen. I'm using stuff that swoops in and swoops out, and I'm using widgets, and you can do that. And I just think, like what you said, first of all, I didn't start out that way. I started off just me and a friend sitting side by side going, okay, what does this button do? Okay, what does this do? What does this do? And but the thing is that we just took a lot of action to figure those things out. And sometimes, even if you're watching every tutorial on YouTube and taking every course and every workshop, it's like sometimes you just have to get in there and get your hands in it and just figure out, what it does. And because you're going to find a creative way to use it. And I've used it to its extreme, and then now I use it at its very basic. I literally push 2 to 3 buttons on my Stream Deck all day long. That's all I do, and I just talk and use that skill set. And then when it comes to the live selling portion of it, and this is kind of fun for me because I don't get to go live as much because I'm creating videos that aren't
Yeah.
live videos. Now I could go live, you know, strategy that you could use is go live on Amazon, get really organized, talk about the products, make sure you watch your, you know, what you can and can't say on the shoppables, and then chop it up and then repurpose it for shoppable content. I'm not that organized. I get on a live stream and fall apart and start talking about weird stuff, and it's just never going to work out. But then, you know, on the live selling aspect, for me, it's like an outlet. It's like a live outlet. I'm doing it on Whatnot. It's super high paced. It's like an auction site, and I use all my software and get nerdy with that. And and people will, you know, when you put out this amount of content, you want to get attention of brands. Now I'm working in one, so there's a big, I always think of like, there's like a big, you know, sector of like brand deals and sponsorships. And some people, maybe YouTubers with a big audience, they're up here and they're charging, you know, $1,500 to $10,000 a video, or 30. I know a TikToker charging $30,000 per video. Okay. And then you got somebody down here who was me like a year and a half, 2 years ago, where it's like, I'm doing $5 and $10 videos because I don't even know what I'm doing. You know, it's like, maybe I'm a low create, you know, whatever. And then you can kind of get somewhere in this middle, or what industry needs your service. And I think with live streaming or even just video capturing processes like Ecamm provides, there's so many business opportunities. And if the world collapsed if my world collapsed again like it did in 2020 and Amazon went away and all these brand deals went away, I'll just become a remote producer. I'm like, I know how to make great quality content.
So
I'll just
true.
sit here and push buttons for you while you talk. Like, it's really not that complicated. And I think there's so many ways, you know, to do that. But the thing that I've seen over and over is showing up with quality, especially in my industry now, where I'm really focused on these brand deals, is when people reach out to me, I go, why did you reach out to me? There was 50 people in that Facebook chat. Why did you reach out to me? Well, your quality video is phenomenal. And every time I jump on a Zoom call, wow, dude, hold on, let's talk about your camera. Like, how'd you do that? Wow, how are you showing all these scenes? Wow, you know, it's like that one factor of itself is just like, no one found my YouTube channel, no one saw me on TikTok or Instagram. I just showed up to a Zoom call, and now they're asking me a million questions about my Ecamm setup or whatever.
Yeah.
And so I think that's a part of getting out there more often and putting videos out in whatever industry you want to serve, or brands or whatever. It's like, this is your portfolio. Like, this is a part of my portfolio now, being on this show. Like, every video out of 2,400 is a portfolio. Like, I don't have to sell anybody anything. Now I go, oh, you want, here's what I do. Here's 2,400 here's 2,400 options. Go ahead and watch one of them. See which one you like and get back to me. And then we do a deal. So it's a pretty amazing, for sure.
Oh, that's awesome. All right. Well, I want to talk a little bit because I was so for those of you who don't know, so you mentioned Dan Courier, who is an incredible video professional, but also was the founder of People of Video, which we've attended and been involved at in past years. And I heard his talk about shoppable video, and I was just like taking copious notes. So what is the, and I've heard from a number of people like that shoppable video, Amazon shoppable videos, which are the little videos you see when you're perusing a product. So you're on Amazon and you're looking through, kind of scrolling through the images. There are sometimes videos within those carousels. Are those ones, is it true that those are more lucrative for the creator than an Amazon live stream? It certainly seems like they're easier to make.
So in my situation, the answer is yes. If I go live, directly from Amazon, 100%.
Okay.
So I'll kind of get into a little bit, but it works better for me. I have more of them out there. They're working all the time. They're doing the thing. And I don't have a ton of followers on Amazon.
Yeah.
Now, with people who are like really big creators over on Amazon, I think they can go live, have hundreds of people on their live stream buying thousands of products, and make a lot of money by doing the live show. In my situation, I've seen shoppables be way more immediately lucrative than me going and spending time. So if I spend 5 hours a week live streaming or 5 hours doing videos, I'm going to make way more money doing the videos. One, because I'm getting compensated from the brand, but then also just the, you know, putting it out there. And what that does too is it puts, like, if I do a video about this wireless microphone, not only does it have potential to show up on the carousel. Now, Amazon's in control of everything after the upload. Okay. So just because you want it to be on the carousel doesn't mean it will be.
You don't get to choose.
And this is where And this is where I wasn't comfortable because I think of myself as entrepreneur first, creator second.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, I got to have a way to scale a business. I can't just sit around and talk to my camera all day. I mean, I would love to if somebody else pays my bills, but I can't do that. So, but what happens is if I create a video about this, well, then Amazon, if they post it to the carousel or not, I don't really know how it works, but then this can potentially end up in related listings as well. So someone might be looking at a $50 wireless microphone, not a $200 wireless microphone, and then they will be like, oh, let me go check that out. Well, that I get credit for that too. So if they watch my video but buy a cheaper mic, but I was the last video, I get compensated for that. Now, the beauty of this related product thing is I'm showing up on competitors' websites. So there's a no-name brand who spent a lot of money developing a wireless microphone who wants to have their, someone create product videos for them. And that's where they find me is because they go, well, I saw the Rode video. I saw the Shure video. I saw
he did it for
video.
Rode. Yes. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, we want you to do it for us. And actually early on, I did a deal with Shure microphones and they sent me a bunch of stuff and some headphones and all this. And now I didn't get paid any money from that deal. But what I did do was now leverage those videos and that relationship to do a deal with any microphone company on the planet that I want to. Because I can legitimately say, I worked with Shure. Here's some videos we did.
Yeah.
If you want to like this, we can do them like this. And they're like, oh, you worked with Shure? Oh my gosh, you're the man, or whatever.
Yeah.
But then live streaming, I'll talk about this real quick. Live streaming is the same thing. So it's not lucrative for me at this point on the front end, but days later, those will begin to reach out, those reps, because they're watching those live shows. So if I'm looking for brands, I'm going to be in Facebook groups. I'm going to be doing live shows on Amazon, and I'm going to be getting that attention, quality video. And I used to be this person who I'm like, I want quality over quantity. Now with Ecamm and the tech the way it is, I can do both. I can be like, I can do quality and quantity. I can only do so much quantity, but I can still do quantity. So it's definitely a weird, not weird, but it's a different world. And I think like Walmart's getting into the space, Target's getting into the space, eBay just launched a live selling, beta over there on their platform. Whatnot is huge, and there's tons of secondary markets that are huge. And people are making serious money off of live selling on those secondary markets. Like I follow a lady who started a couple of years ago. She did almost $1 million in top line revenue with a 50% margin. I'm like, what am I doing? I'm dinking around at 100K. Like, how do I get to 1 million? Like, but she's selling 1,000 products a week on a live show from her phone, which blows my mind that that's even possible. So,
I mean,
wild.
The cool thing to remember about these like larger platforms, so like the Amazons and Targets and Walmarts of the world, is that, in particular with shoppable videos, I guess, but is that they don't need your help or your platform, right? Like everyone knows who they are. They don't care whether or not everyone knows who you are. So the potential is actually for like us little people who don't have gigantic platforms, if we can give them the content that they want to need, like all that these companies need is the ability to sell more products, right? And the way that they want to be able to sell more products is people, because they're not going into a store, they can't touch things and see things in a way that they would if they were physically there. So they just need literally anyone, you guys, literally anyone, to give them a visual demonstration and to be like, come across as a real person, to make it seem like credible that you are touching and holding the product, to answer their questions, to help them make the purchase, right? So these companies are giving over their platforms with millions and millions of people that are going there all the time. So if you can get really clever with how to approach it and how to think through these videos and like you were saying, like kind of really how to partner the live streaming with the shoppable, I think it's really smart, and it's a very different, I think has a lot more potential in many ways than like the in the other kind of creator outlets, right? Like it's a lot harder to build a podcast or a YouTube channel and to build up all of those followers and to build that audience and then try to kind of sell that clout and that audience into a brand than it is to say, oh, hey, brand, you need all this stuff and I have the gear and equipment to do it and I'm an everyday person that your customers want to hear from. So I think there's big potential here, and it's going to continue to be big, whether that's live video or these shorter videos or some hybrid between, there's a ton of opportunity there. So I think it's really cool. I'm looking through. I'm loving I always love all the conversation in the chat. I'm not ignoring everyone. And let me scroll back because I did see a question early on. I don't think it was.
This is fun being on the guest
I know.
guest side. By the way, I'm never on this side. I'm like, oh, this is sick.
I know we're always talking about how we should force more of our customers to be on the guest side because it is a totally different feeling. People just
like
loving.
No pressure. I'm just like hanging out, like chats coming in. It's fun.
Oh yeah, here. So this isn't. Hey, maybe Billy can answer this one. I'm always terrible at anything related to microphones and audio. But Ideology wants to know. They're using a radial lapel mic instead of a pod mic. The receiver goes into the camera, and they get audio via the cam link. The only problem is with interviews, they can't hear themselves. This sounds like you need to hang out with Doc Rock.
Yeah, you're probably gonna need. Well, I mean, I guess on Ecamm though, there is like a audio. I don't know at what level you have to have, but I have an audio monitor on mine, so you could run like if you didn't want to put an interface in between you and the connection, you could just do. I don't know. I guess you could do like a splitter, a headphone splitter, and get the audio monitor. I don't know. Just get an interface, okay?
I was gonna say the answer is to have either a USB microphone or a USB and XLR microphone or an interface. Those are the answers. Yeah. Sorry, Ideology. Yeah. That's my answer there. Skype feels like
talk to Doc Rock. Send him an email.
Yeah, Paul. My kids are always joking that I'm from the 1900s, so Skype is from the 1900s. is the endless joke? Maybe the late 1900s, but still the 1900s nonetheless. All right, I think I caught all of the different questions. Hey Tim, thanks for hanging out. He says, great stories, Billy. Late to the stream. Do you have a website or some links? It looks like Paul dropped those in, and they're in the description as well. But you can definitely connect and follow Billy.
And there's something that Doc Rock said in here that I do want to just mention. And he said he gets a lot of companies wanting him to promote not very good quality microphones.
Yeah.
And this is a question I get all the time because people are like, dude, people are paying you to make these videos. Like, how honest are you?
Oh, good question.
Most of the products that come to me, I look at them, I test them out, I try them out. One of the downfalls, I think, like I don't spend a lot of time. I'll spend 3 months with every microphone that comes in to give like a 3-month review. It's more of, unboxing, first thoughts, how does this work, that type of thing. Now, I've had microphones that come in that are horrific and they never make a video because it doesn't make any sense for me to make the video because I'm just going to say this is a piece of crap and don't buy it. And I don't make any money. I waste my time. I waste the brand's time. And so they'll still, even if I do that, I still get compensated for the time I spent just to figure out the product was subpar.
Do you give them like feedback in that case? Is that like, so when you go back to, okay, so you have to write and say like, hey, I can't make a video for the, of this. Here are the reasons why. Here's some suggestions on what I think you could do to improve the product.
Yeah, exactly. Awesome. And then also, or I'll say, I'm happy to do a pros and cons. You're probably not going to like the cons, but I'll happily do the pros and cons of this mic. And then sometimes I'm actually surprised. Like there's been microphones and tech that come across this desk where I'm like, wow, how in the world or why in the world did I buy this mic? Because this mic will blow it out of the water every single time. So sometimes you actually get shocked by those. But yeah, I mean, I do think there is like this line of, like especially when you're getting compensated to make these types of videos, like what do you feel the most comfortable about doing? And that's where, when it comes to me, I'm like, if I would buy this and use it, if I literally think I could use this for a long haul. In technology space, which is mainly where I play at, is the electronics category. I mean, what does that even mean? Like I replaced this microphone like after 3 years. Like I got a dead one back here. I don't know how it died. If anybody wants to figure it out, let me know. But it just died. It just stopped working. And then I replaced it. So I replace headphones all the time. I replace cameras all the time. So, I do think it is one of those, and that's what I probably don't like about what I do is there are some products where I'm like, this is good enough. I don't think it's going to last very long, but it's good enough. And so that's probably, just something I got to deal with and figure out, can I sleep at night if I make this video and say it's good? However, there's different style videos. So it's not always like, I'm Billy Thorpe and I approve of this product. It's not that. This is what it is. This is what it does.
Yeah.
This is, if you're a beginner, this is going to work great for you. If you're Doc Rock, you're going to throw it in the trash. And I think there's different levels in the market for different people with different products and what their budget is, what they want, how long they want it to last, all those fun things. So you kind of get a good feel. But after a while, you do some of the same types of products from different companies all the time. So if you want to talk about a 3-in-1 charger for your Apple devices, I know everything about them. I've touched every one of them on the planet, because people will watch the video and then the brand will reach out and say, hey, I have one of those. I got so many portable monitors that way, electric scooters. I had 5 electric scooters in my garage at one time, solar power stations. Like, if the lights go out in North Carolina and if you see a light, it's mine. I promise, because I got all those things stacked up.
Billy's also has one for everyone in the entire neighborhood. So if you,
I rent them out. It's a rental business during hurricanes. That's what happens.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing. It's true. I mean, it's amazing what you pick up by just like doing, like, right? Like the more you're spending time reviewing these products and the more you're like actually, connecting them in and trying them and testing them out and comparing them against others, you are building like up this crazy skill set and each video is only taking, so much allotted amount of time, but a year of doing that. And yeah, you would absolutely have like a high level of expertise in the products that you're reviewing the most. And probably even in the ones that you like, you probably are able now to say like, the difference between like some of the Shure mics and Rode mics, for example, like you, because even if you have a preference for one over the other, you could probably really pinpoint why, because you're using them so often versus people like me, where it's, like we have such a great relationship with Shure. So we use Shure in all, like in, all of our studios. So I like almost entirely always am using only this one mic in a variety of different colors and places around the office that I wouldn't be able to tell the difference between a lot of them. So it's a cool, I don't know, it's a cool experience getting to kind of do like unboxings and testing and being an authority in those spaces is also just kind of a cool place to be. And building up that trust too with people that are watching and learning more from you, I think is cool.
Yeah, and it's definitely it's definitely like a different, it's definitely different than YouTube. And I think that's where like a lot of YouTubers will try to go on Amazon and they're totally confused. They're like, what's happening? Why is this not working? How come brands want to pay me $50 a video? I'm like, well, they want to pay you $50 a video because they want to send you 100 of them a month. So it's like, you can do the frequency model. And that's what I do. I do a frequency model. Yeah. So I did 135 deals per month last year on average. And it's just a frequency game for me. So it's like, and after a while you do that first 6 months, I took anything and everything. However, I've spent a lot of time building dressers that were like 700 pieces that were like junky. And so you do learn over time. Like, I'm never taking that kind of product. I can get this product done. I know what it does. And, so I do a lot of techie stuff now. But early on, I was doing everything. I was sponges and fingernail clippers and you name it. I was hair clippers. I'm like cutting my own hair. Like, this is great.
It's a time efficiency game, though, which I think is important. Like, I think it's great that you did that. Doc probably would argue with me, but I think it's great that you did it because it helped you figure out pretty quickly, like, what you enjoyed doing the most of, what took a lot of time and wasn't worth it. Like, if it took a bunch of time, for example, to build that dresser, but like it was, I don't know, fun, or when you got the end dresser, like it sold a ton of that. Like, if there was like an end game to it that was beneficial to you, whether that was financial or otherwise, it would be worth it and you might want to double down on it. But if it wasn't, like, you were able to kind of, it was a process of elimination where you're like, oh, I don't actually enjoy that. I want to do more of these. Now I'm doing more of these. I don't enjoy this side of it. So you're really like narrowing down, keeping in mind that the amount of videos is what matters most. So the quicker you're able to do them, and the better space you'll be in the end, right? So you're right. That is very different than a YouTuber who's going to be spending, some much larger amount of time really thinking through like not only the kinds of videos they're putting on their channel, but the length of the videos, the recording process, the editing process. Many of them, it takes a very long time for like the production thumbnail, of a video to get the thumbnail, all these details. It's just a very different, it's the same tool, right? You could use Ecamm for both, but it's a very different process and a very different mindset, I think.
Doc said $50 would have to be 10 minutes start total time.
Yeah, but there you go.
Yeah,
like
it is.
Yeah.
It literally is, Doc Rock. It's like probably less than 10 minutes. Like if I was doing probably less than 10 minutes. And that's why I can operate and move, that quickly. And that's how I used Ecamm. And this isn't for everybody. And I realize, and it's funny because I get a lot of pushback from like what I would call pure creators, because there's people out there who are just like, dude, what you're doing is wrong and you're an idiot. And I'm like, well, unless you want to pay me to sit in my studio and look at my camera and talk about fun stuff on the internet, then this is, as a content creator, as a person who is an entrepreneur first, content creator second, I've just found something that I really enjoy doing, and I can use my skill set to do it. And I realize it's not for everybody, and it's not fun for everybody. And I think that's when it comes to content creation, it's like you really got to figure out, what is it that you really love doing? What do you really enjoy doing? And I honestly, I love that I can help a no-name brand have like a perspective and be able to share those videos. And then also on the customer side, like, because I have tons of questions. I get on Amazon, I see these like little 3D picture models, and I'm like, the freak is that? And then if I see the video, I'm like, oh, this guy's going to show me exactly what it is. He's going to tell me what it is. And now I feel better about my decision to purchase or not to purchase. I mean, obviously as an influencer, I get paid when they purchase, but in my business structure, I already got paid. So I really don't care if they buy it or don't buy it. It's like, cool, buy it or don't buy it. I don't really care. It's just bonus money after that. So, but yeah, it's not for everybody. And I have been kind of leery to talk about too much of it, especially this frequency volume game, because they will, even my wife, she's like an artist. She's like an artist pure through and through, and not even in the video space, but she's just like, no, I'm not doing that. And then several of our friends have been like, you're wasting everything of the planet's energies, or whatever. And I'm like, I reuse the boxes to ship the product. I don't know.
I mean, you're solving a problem though, and I think it's a really good perspective. The reality is that all of us are doing a lot more online shopping. We have questions and we want to be able to see more of these products. So it's a need that needs to be filled. So whether or not people have additional feelings about it is kind of irrelevant. I think it's not going anywhere anytime soon.
Doc, I think Doc is having, right? I think his heart is falling apart in the chat over there. It's like $5K for YouTube video, $50 for Amazon video. That's so funny.
Yeah.
And trust me, if I had a followership, and so this is the same with podcasting. Like when I did a podcast, we had a huge audience. We signed big sponsorship deals every year.
Yeah.
But I had a niche audience to present that sponsor to. Let's put this in reality. My biggest audience is 3,200 people. It's just the reality of it. I'm like, that's it. That's all I got. And so, that we made, the fact that I made $40,000 off of Amazon, just the commission from Amazon last year, made over $53,000 from brand deals, and then $20,000 reselling the product, roughly. I'm like, dude, sweet, let's go. Like, I'll do this all day. Yeah. I do it 5 hours a day.
There's Tim's answer with the bonus money. There you go. Right. So it's 40,000 in bonus money. Yeah. It adds up.
It's not like a ton. Like, I don't think I'm going to take this business and scale to $1 million unless I hired a bunch of, people come in and set up a bunch of live streaming rooms and be like, hey, Ecamm, I need to extend that package to 9 computers, please.
Yeah, exactly. Right.
But it is a lot of fun, and it's and it helped me rebound from losing a business in 2020. So, that in itself is like, okay, this is pretty cool. But yeah, I mean, I definitely think, if you go build a big audience, you're going to do the work one way or the other. So it's either like, I'm going to work hard doing the model I'm doing and building it and building the structure, or I'm going to work hard creating content to try to get the attention of an audience that I can then try to sell their attention to, a brand or somebody else, which is arguably just as savage as what I do. If people like we're having a little mental break about it. It's kind of like, what's the best of the two evils? Where you say like we're all trying to make money and create content, do what we love. So I have no idea. It's kind of funny, but I have this conversation a lot with people about what's right, what's wrong, and I'm like, I don't know, dude, but my family's gonna eat tonight, so I'm happy.
Yeah, no, it's don't do a video sweatshop, Billy. Yeah, seriously. No, just that's too funny. No, I mean, if you're gonna have all those people in, then they all get free Amazon products, lunches. You'll have to create a fun little environment.
Yeah. I mean, my neighbors, so it's so funny because my neighbors, I've like hooked up you cannot come, if you live in my neighborhood or you think about robbing my neighborhood, you better think twice. Everybody has a security camera. Like we're all locked and loaded. That place is like, you can't even barely step a foot in our neighborhood without somebody knowing about it.
It is good to, so I think you've swayed me. I've had this on my list for forever now. And I finally over Christmas signed up to be an Amazon influencer, so kind of taking my first steps into it. And I can't say as I've done more than just signed up and got everything all kind of set up, but yeah, we have one of our first moderators, Frank, so shout out to Frank. He was an Amazon, I don't know if he still is, but was an Amazon reviewer for years. So it was like pre-videos, right? Yeah. He just got sent products and he would write honest reviews about them, and they would send him more and more products. But every year for Christmas, he would send us like all kinds of awesome stuff. It was like these like gorgeous like knife sets and like, you know, things for the house. And I was like, this is so fun. Like all you do is write reviews. He's like, yeah,
I haven't spent $1 on a Christmas gift in 2 years. It's amazing.
Yeah.
And everybody gets hooked. You know, it's like my mother-in-law, I sent her for Christmas a bird house with a camera in it, and it's pretty sick with the AI technology. It
my dad
what
has
kind of
one of
bird
those.
it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. I'm like, wow, this is crazy. But I saw a doc said you need 2,500 to get Amazon influencers. That is when I signed up for it. So that was my personal story. I know of people who got approved with 75 people that had like highly engaged accounts.
They don't seem to have, so I've tried recently. So you need to first, and I totally could be incorrect in this, so jump in and correct me if you're better at this than I am. But when I tried, you need to first be an Amazon influencer. So that was what I was missing initially. But then when you
associates account
or an associates account,
associates, that's right.
That's it. Sorry, that's why I'm always getting the term right. So you need to be an Amazon associates account, and then you can only connect. And here's where I got in trouble because hilariously my biggest amount of people are all on Facebook, which kills me as a person a little bit, but that's the truth. That's the truth of it. And then I'm like you, my Instagram account I think is like hovering around 900. So I was waiting to get up to that higher level, but they don't. I've been told by a number of people that it's like, it doesn't seem, they don't list anywhere what their threshold is. Like when you're applying, it doesn't say you need to have these certain credentials. No. It says you can connect in through, I think it's YouTube, Instagram, or LinkedIn. I want to say maybe not LinkedIn, Twitter. Maybe it's Twitter. Anyway, YouTube
and I think they just started doing TikTok as well. I know a lot of people are getting in from TikTok. Yeah. Which is another platform that is crushing it right now. It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
Go follow me on TikTok. I need 5,000 followers. I have 115. Let's go.
Everyone right now. Go.
Everybody. 100% participation of this entire channel.
I'll go follow. I almost entirely use TikTok as like a mental health break at the end of the day. I just send like 150 TikToks to my best friend and she sends me back like a bunch of them, and we just laugh and we neither of us create anything. We just send back and forth to each other. So I'm there. I will definitely follow.
That platform is, when it comes to live selling and all these videos, I don't know the ins and outs because I'm not approved, but it is. I get a couple friends over there and I'm like, wow, they really are incentivizing creators to create content over there. Like it's insane.
Yeah.
So it won't last forever, but I don't think anyway. My prediction is they'll pay the 20 to 50% commissions for a little while, and then after it gets inundated, they're gonna be just like Amazon.
Yeah, they'll drop down.
Very low commission. We'll see.
Oh, Lala says that she got into the Amazon program 1,200 YouTube subscribers 2 years ago. Yeah, make some more videos. You have Ecamm, you're there. And you're crafty, so you should be able to do. You have like the overhead cameras. You're in. I love it. Yeah, Doc's been the Amazon influencer since the day the AI program started. Absolutely true. Yeah, and TikTok Live is coming. Yeah, is coming for everyone. Maybe this summer. That would be awesome to be able to
Oh,
get
okay,
into
cool.
it. So.
Okay, that would be sick. It's gonna turn into a live selling platform.
I'm there for
It's
it.
so funny.
Oh my
Yeah,
goodness.
I mean, I kind of love it. I mean, I kind of love it, but it's just it's a different world. It's a different world, and it's something that's very interesting because, when I got out of the video space there for like almost a decade while I was doing t-shirts, I was never really happy in that t-shirt printing industry. It was just something to do, a business to own.
Mm-hmm.
And my wife kept telling me, she's like, "You're gonna get back into video," and I'm like, "I will never get back into video editing because I hate it. I sat in a dark room for a decade, just like pushing buttons and cutting stuff up. I'm like, I'll never do that again." And then came along this whole like live stream podcast, like Ecamm, and I mean, it's incredible what you can do
Yeah.
with all this technology now, which just blows my mind every time. Because I'm 37. I remember rotary phones. I remember
Yeah.
MySpace and dial-up internet. Like
Yeah.
I'm kind of on that. I'm an elder millennial, is what I call
Same.
myself.
Yeah.
So,
Join us, the elders.
yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like, I remember the world before. I remember the analog world versus the digital space. And so anyway, so yeah, it's pretty fun to go like, wow, I can go live and talk about anything. I can sell this microphone on the internet and then ship it to somebody. That's weird. That's crazy. So
It is really like, yeah, it is weird and crazy when you really think about it. You're like, wow, all right, yeah, you could just send stuff to people all over the world. It's nuts. Well,
yeah, it's pretty wild.
I so appreciate you taking the time. I'm always amazed at how fast an hour goes by. When I'm trying to do like other things, an hour feels like an eternity. But the second I turn a camera on and talk with someone, I'm like, wow, just like that. So quick. Well, I love that you were able to come on and share this with us. I think it's awesome what you're doing. I think it's such a great reminder for everyone that this space that you're in is a space where you don't like, we get questions all the time where people are like, I just started this podcast and I don't have enough, followers to be able to monetize yet, or I just started my YouTube channel, or I've been at it for a while, but it's so hard to get people. Great. That like, keep doing that. And also maybe consider this other side, like where you don't need to have a huge platform to be successful.
Yeah.
And, and you could really do a lot. And you already, if you're an Ecamm customer, you already have all of the stuff. You've already got a camera and you have a computer and you have the software and a microphone. So you're already kind of queued up to be able to at least test it out. So there's no, I don't know, I don't see a really big downside to it other than maybe the bumpiness of getting in and applying and kind of getting the first original check mark. But the rest of it
and I
should
do
be.
think it's really smart especially in this creator economy, to in any business, any business at all. It's like create those multiple streams of revenue.
100%.
Start with one, and then if I'm gonna, and I monetize a podcast super quick. Like I monetize a podcast within 5 episodes. We had 400 total downloads. But what I knew was that's where I played the quality over quantity game. And I was able to go out and pitch a sponsorship deal using my entire ecosystem as a content creator for that particular project. And that was a stream of revenue. And then later on, we created a membership and provided one additional piece of content per week. And that was a 300-person membership group. And so, if one sponsorship deal didn't come together in the amount of time, like our membership would keep us going. And now with Amazon, it's the same thing. It's like, Amazon commissions down. They took away carousels last week. Everybody's hair is on fire and they're freaking out. What do? I just reach out to 12 more brands and go, hey, I can do that product video we talked about a month ago and you didn't send me. You want to send it now or what? It's like, and I can create 3-4 streams of revenue from one platform. So yeah, it's pretty crazy, the opportunity, but it is showing up and putting in the reps. Our friends over at Dealcasters, they're always saying like, just, you got to put in the reps. And so, and study people who are doing it successfully. This is what I did. Dan, you go watch Dan Courier's videos, go watch my videos. You're not going to notice a difference because I stole it. I stole his format.
Shout out to Dan.
I don't care.
Yeah.
I was like, hey, if you didn't want me to steal it, you should have put it on the internet. Like,
Yeah.
I literally even say, okay, today we're going to talk about, or all right, whatever he said. I adopted that early on, and I never stopped saying it. And I still haven't and probably won't because I've done too many videos. But anyway, it's been fun. Thank you, Katie, for having me on.
Oh,
It's
it was
been
a
it's been a
blast.
lot of fun.
It was an absolute blast. Well, thank you. And thanks to everyone I'm loving all of this. Shout out to Radio Shack. I always love seeing all the comments
Yeah, right.
coming through. Well, stick here for a second because as Billy said, we have something big is coming. Although I will say, if you read the description, I was very clear to say that it wasn't a big app update. It was a lot of other fun updates and fun, cool things coming. So, although there are some additional exciting announcements as well. So hopefully you will join us tomorrow. That's Thursday, January 18th at 2 p.m. Eastern. We're going to be here on YouTube, Ken and Glenn, some pop-up surprises, some giveaways, and everything in between. You have to be live in order to fully appreciate everything. If you're not there, you're going to hear about it later and you're going to feel sad. So hopefully you can be there with us 2 p.m. Eastern, January 18th. That's Thursday, tomorrow. I think that's our only big announcement. And other than that, from Billy and I, thanks for hanging out with Meet the Fam. If you want to be on this show, there is a form. I think it's in the description. If not, I'll make sure I go back and add it. Or you can always just email me, marketing@ecam.com, and we'd love to have you on the show. I do this show as often as people keep sending in they want to be on it. So keep sending in those. It's always, I learn so much about what's possible, and I think it's really cool to hear and see what people are doing. So thanks for being on, Billy, and thanks to everyone
thank you. And you have a great guest like follow up and reminders and all that stuff.
Good.
That was awesome. You should teach. I don't know if you have content about that, but you should teach it because I was like, wow, this is really good. Like, I'm not gonna forget where I need to be at 11 a.m.
Oh, good. I know. I need to implement that for some of our other shows. Actually, I think that one's just a Calendly, like a Calendly workflow or an automation. So
yeah,
shout
it
out
was
to
great.
Calendly.
It was a number of reminders, and
Good.
every time I was like, yep, okay, cool, yep,
Like, I've
okay,
got
cool.
it.
So,
I've got it.
yep,
Katie is on it.
awesome.
Cool. That's a good reminder. Actually, I definitely need to build that out and add that into the other shows. That'll be great.
Cool. Thank you so much.
All right, that's it for my work day. Hope you guys enjoyed behind the scenes. I made about 6 product videos, did a bunch of other stuff. Yay! So much fun. But now my voice is getting tired because I've been battling a little bit of sickness. So that is it, my friends. We'll see you later. Where's the button at? There it is.